All right, guys. So we are back. I started the stream a little bit early because I can. I just was sitting over here. This is one of the few times I'm actually prepared before the stream starts instead of running around like a chicken with my head cut off. So we're gonna wait for a few people to get here before we start this nonsense. I have a 1 minute and 1 second video to play prior to the video of Chile talking to, I want to say his name's Brian from Here's the Deal. It's just going to be a bunch of nonsensical bullshit as per usual. I know a bunch of people are live today, so if a lot of people don't show up, it is what it is. Lying is the language of frauditing. Yeah, I just have so much to talk about today. So we've got Chile, and here's the deal. We have this mystery 1 minute, 1 second video. We've got a guy named Tyrants Beware who's hiding behind the anonymous V for Vendetta mask, which I find hilarious, trying to take shots at me because I covered Chris factually accurate and with logic, and he seemed to be very upset about that. But what can you really expect from a shill for Chris? He also thinks that Tiffany is just mere moments from getting her kids back. Oh, Lord. And just because that reminded me, I am streaming on the YouTube, the Twitter, the Facebook, the Twitch, and the Kick. So I am everywhere. Early AF. Yeah, Ed, I started like 4 or 5 minutes early just to get the whole intro spiel out of the way. Just got banned from 4 Public Safety Live. Oh, he's live, you say? Well, we might have something else to cover. An inaccurate fact is still a fact of inaccuracy. I believe Sun Tzu said that. God. Let me go check on this idiot. 4 Public Safety. Oh, yes. Chris has court tomorrow. Surprise, you have court tomorrow. Like, you're an idiot, Chris. If I remember correctly, this is regarding his imposter. An imposter signed my name and did probation and paid fines for me. I didn't do it, but an imposter did. I believe it's that case. So we might have to stream that tomorrow. All right, hold on 1 second, guys. The old pickle kid is doing things. What you need, Pick? You need some cake? All right, guys, I got to get the pickle kid some cake because that's what she's about right now. All right, pickle kid. There you go. That was a weird interruption. But yeah, so Chris has that tomorrow. God, this is just turning into like, this could be the greatest 2 weeks ever. I know, shocker, but I want to see Chris in the same position as Chili in jail crying about it. Kid break, yeah, I bought a slightly large cake out of the frozen food section, or I guess out of the Kroger frozen cake section. I think it's like a tuxedo cake. Yeah, she is eating it frozen for some reason. An imposter married my wife. I'm free and clear. That's fair. Oh, God. All right, 55 people. We're just going to roll with it. And if more people show up, more people show up. Yeah, I'm chipping the cake pieces off. Not even whole slices, just chunks off so she can eat it that are, it almost is the consistency of an ice cream cake currently. But that's what the kid loves, so that's what she gets. All right, we're going to share screen again. Frauditor Troll went out of his way to say when he played the Chili and Brian video that this was not voice manipulation. I'm going to say that, yes, this is 1,000% voice manipulation between broken system, broken trust. And I don't know if Chili even talks during this thing, but it's so good. I wish I found this sooner.
Hey, Chili. Josh of Broken System, Broken Trust here. If I sound out of breath, it's because I am out of breath. You see, those jackboot thug pig and judicial bootlicking tyrants had made up their minds to convict me and throw me in the dungeon. So I no-showed at my jury trial earlier this week. and ran. Made the judge, prosecutor, my own attorney, and the jury come in and sit there on their asses waiting for me to show up. But I didn't. Hoopsie! Haha. Someone told me on YouTube that the judge slapped a bench warrant on my ass for my arrest. I'm scared, Chile. Sooner or later, they'll probably find me. So I'm giving you a call to ask you a serious question. What's the food like in the dungeon? Does every meal include the 5 main food groups? There's seconds in your plate. I need to know these things because, well, you know. Thanks, Chili. Later, Gator.
So yeah, that was one of the greatest videos I've listened to in the longest time. 1 second. All right, so we're going to jump from this video to basically Frauditor Troll. Don't get mad at me. I started it after the ad read for Frauditor Troll, so that's that. It's going to jump right into Brian making shit up about what happened to Chile. And again, this is where the whole thing, how are frauditors so delusional? This is where the delusion starts. This guy saw Chile break the law, and instead of saying, hey guys, maybe we should start holding Chile accountable, it's about how the judge is corrupt, the whole system's corrupt, Chile didn't break any laws, and it's like, pull your head out of your ass, my guy. This is also the guy who I believe Dummy Kruger pointed out that this guy was telling, was it Wolverine Transparency in freaking media? Or was it MCC and freaking media? One of the two, about how, oh, you don't need a license to drive. So right off the bat, we're starting with an individual who's not exactly all there mentally if you think that you can drive without a license. So let's listen to this phone call.
Before I play this call from Chile from the Clark County Detention Center, I just want to say, over the years, Chile has done a tremendous amount for the community. If somebody needed help, he did a live stream, he did a donation drive, he did a fundraiser for them, and he raised a lot of money for a lot of people and helped out a lot. So I think it's time that we turn around and help Chile out. The long and the short of it is this. This judge right here, Ann Zimmerman, put Chile in jail for 180 days. He committed no crime, left no victim, broke no law. The cop lied on the stand, and yet she still, without any evidence that he had committed any wrongdoing, put him in jail for 180 days.
Now, I didn't see. Let me see if I can do it this way. Yeah, there we go. So I didn't see the officer lie on the stand. I saw Chile make some very, sorry, Ed, I'm messing with my hat already. I saw Chile make some very dumb life choices at the very beginning, calling the officer a pig, not wanting to hand over his phones, even though the judge can do basically whatever she wants. There was that. Oh, God. We all saw the original video and saw him break said law. And Chile, he does help people, if you can say help. He bails criminals out of jail because of reasons, because his trifold told him so, which is still strange for me. But yeah, Brian is not, I don't know if he's just pushing this narrative because he's financially gaining from, oh yes, everyone in law enforcement, the judicial system, the state government, the federal government is bad, and Chile, at one look at his record and you're just like, that's not a good guy. But apparently it's his savior, which is a strange thing to inspire to.
That's why he's in the Clark Detention Facility. There is a GoFundMe that Chile set up about a week ago so that we could all pitch in and help other activists who get in trouble. And I say we use this fund right now for him.
Why do these people think they're activists? They are not. They are glorified prank channels. Like, Chile is starting to, I had this conversation with somebody earlier. Chile is under the impression that the front seat of his van during a live stream in the real world, on the side of the road behind, some crime scene tape, in front of officers, in front of a judge at a courthouse, he thinks that they're the same place. which is Fantasyland. And they are not. The actual law applies outside of Chile's van, and he can't seem to wrap his head around that.
I'll leave this link in the description and in the pinned comment. If it does disappear from the pinned comment, which it often does, just check out the description. If we all pitch in something, we can get him a better lawyer. Here's the call from Chile.
Whoa. This doesn't make any sense. According to Here's the Deal, Chile is a constitutional law professor.
I'm just gonna let Frauditor Troll talk about this bit. But yes, so he's starting a GoFundMe for what? For what? You're not going to give Chile X amount of dollars and he's just going to magically get out of 180 days. It's not going to happen. You can get this GoFundMe up to as high as you want. At the end of the day, the outcome is going to be the same. I'm currently looking forward to the next trial that Chile has for damn near the exact same thing. I think we can all agree. I'm not going to say put a 1 in the chat. I'm pretty sure you guys have words. You can just say, yeah, I agree with you, yada, yada. The second incident where Chile got arrested was much more egregious than the first one. The first one, I'm just like, it could go either way. The second one, I'm like, no, he's guilty. He was bobbing and weaving through some crime scene tape trying to record a fatal accident, which I've covered somebody before. I think his name was AZ Unfiltered a while ago, like a year and a half, 2 years ago. And his whole thing was he went around the crime scenes trying to record the dead bodies so that he could upload it to YouTube. And they basically were like, yeah, stand over here. Stop being weird. You're disgusting. I don't like these people, but it is what it is. Back to Frauditor Troll talking.
He teaches the law. So why would he need a better lawyer? He is the lawyer, right? He's the professor. He has all the expertise. And that's why you see this is just a grift. This snake oil salesman peddled lies to 1 million people and said that Chile was a professor. But now here Chile is in jail needing a better lawyer. You cannot even make this shit up. That's why I call them frauds. It's for shit like this.
This call is not private. It will be recorded and may be monitored. If you believe this should be a private call, please hang up and follow facility instructions to register this number as a private number.
Hello?
Before we get into this, we have to play the For Public Safety video after this as live stream. He's now talking about how, we just wanted to focus on the raid lawsuit, which isn't going well for him, by the way. We just wanted to get the raid lawsuit and focus on that. We didn't want to become the focal point. We wanted to get help for the victims. You're creating victims. You're the only person creating victims, Chris. But he's over there crying about that. Rogue Nation is in the chat. The 2-time drunk driver, Mears 420, he's in there. The angry vet's in there, and they're all just crying because they're activists. Shut up. They're not activists.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, I thought you were going to call back yesterday.
There's a lot of rules and regulations here and things that happen here, and they don't let you, we went into lockdown, and I had to go to my bunk. I've been on my bunk for like 20 hours straight.
Oh, jeez.
You're confined to your bed. You can't get off. Get off your bed. But,
You got to stay on your bed for 20 hours?
yeah, lockdown means that you can't leave your bed. There's 8 guys right now on 24-hour lockdown on their bed. Can't leave. You need to go to the bathroom.
Holy cow.
I wanted to touch on this because I have more knowledge about this subject than most people. You don't just go into lockdown for no reason. I was discussing it with people the other day. I believe it might have been this morning, yesterday. Bear with me. My days are all just one giant day at this point. You're going to go into lockdown if, let's say, you come in and the guards are worried about you being, well, who Chile is, and they're thinking he's going to rub somebody the wrong way, and they're going to shank him, or they're going to just beat his face into the tile, because I'm pretty sure a bunch of people are going to go in and go, oh, that's the guy that got kicked off TikTok for doing what he did on TikTok. Oh, that's the crazy guy from YouTube. Can't pull his head out of his ass. and they're going to stomp him out. So it seems like he either already did something to get put in lockdown, or they're just trying to like, hey guys, this is Chile. Hey guys, this is Chile. We're going to leave him out for 5 minutes. We're going to leave him out for 10 minutes. And I would love to stay in bed for 20 hours. They're not going to say, don't leave your bed. If you have to go to the bathroom, go to the bathroom. I don't think that they could legally be like, nope, go piss yourself. It's fine.
Get up to get their food, and then they can go back to their bed.
Well, how are they treating you besides being on lockdown and on your bed for 20 hours? Are you eating okay, drinking water?
It's horrible. The guards aren't treating me terribly. It's just, can't say much. I gotta be really careful, you know. They listen to all my phone calls. They know who I am. The guards here. I am. There's 6 inmates on. I am on guard too. Which we can do now. So, I was hoping maybe you could go live on my channel, maybe record this phone call or any of our phone calls.
Yeah, I'm recording right now. What do you want the audience to know? You're live. Go ahead.
I'm gonna be okay.
I just want you guys to notice that as he's scrolling down, you can see the view count for all of his videos. And let me just double check here real quick of how many delete laws. You see 7,000, 81,000, 9.8, 8.4, 1.5, 14, 4. Chile has 544,000 subscribers. So to say those numbers don't match his subscriber count is blatantly obvious to anyone with eyeballs. That would be the equivalent of me getting 100 views on all of my videos, 200 views, 1,000 views on my videos. And that's not good numbers.
For help, but I need help. My business is predicated on me going live for a couple hours every day. And so a year ago, I set up a GoFundMe. It's on my community tab. You can find it, Brian. And the appellate attorney is $25 grand. And so I need help, you know. I gotta keep my composure in here.
This has to be one of his biggest grifts yet. $25,000 is the money he's requesting from his dumb lens lickers.
And he's going to probably get close to it because these people are so dumb. In the last live stream, we were talking about where's Zordon to save him. That is a great comment, C. Allen. So we were talking about how these people, it seems like, enjoy being tricked, enjoy being lied to by their saviors, the people they look up to. I would think people in jail would like him. No, yeah. Criminals can like other criminals, but Chile's a different breed. If you notice, I don't want to say he's whispering, but it seems like he's whispering in the video or on the phone call. It seems like he may be trying to keep it hush-hush, making things up. Because I'm not going to say what he's talking about isn't happening. I'm not going to say they are happening. But if you take the subtle hints, he's whispering, he's making shit up that I've never heard of. It seems like he might be trying to lie about his situation in order to get this $25,000 when, Steve and the boys are next to him going, the fuck are you talking about? We've been outside for 6 hours today.
Expecting them to fork out $25,000. That is unbelievable. For what? It's going to be thrown away. The guy was clearly obstructing the investigation. He was found guilty. I don't think a $25,000 lawyer is going to be able to help him. But why do we even need a lawyer when you have a constitutional law professor, right, Brian? And he doesn't need to get paid. It's his own case. So problem solved. Chile will represent himself for his appeal. He is a professor after all.
Because you can't imagine the loopholes and the rules that you don't know. That you do something and all of a sudden you're breaking a rule. Not only are the guard telling you, but everybody's telling you. And I've worn the same clothes since Tuesday. I've done 1,000 push-ups for
He's claustrophobic, but lives in a van. Like, where's that logic? You're claustrophobic, but you just spent years traveling the country doing nonsense in a van. Also, oh, I went from one dungeon to another dungeon. My guy, you're in jail. Nobody ever claimed, yes, if you get found guilty and have to do 180 days, you're going to the Hilton. No one ever made that claim.
Yeah, just thought of surely beating it. And, I just,
I feel like I'm trying to guess what the audience might ask you if they had a chance, so I'm going to try to step into that role. But what would you have done in your trial? What would you have done different? What mistakes do you feel like you made that the attorney made, and what would you have done different?
well, I made all the mistakes in the world. I constantly teach people that when you go in front of the judge, you have to be humble, you have to be respectful to all the court employees. I broke all my own rules. I broke every rule. I screwed it up, you know.
That is incredibly surprising. I'm really surprised that he was able to realize that he messed up bad. You are supposed to treat the court with respect, and he did the opposite. So he knows that he has to be respectful, but his ego took over, and that was his downfall.
I mean, granted, my attorney didn't put on a very good case for sure. I don't think he was very well prepared. He didn't bring
Also, if I remember correctly, I could be wrong, probably not. Chile wanted to represent himself and have this guy as standby counsel. At least that's what he wants for the other case, which is almost exactly the same but worse. He wants to be representing himself, but he wants this guy as standby counsel. If I remember correctly, what I was told, he didn't file it in a decent enough time. So the judge is like, no, that's your attorney. He's representing you. So it seems like Chile was ready to go and represent himself, but then the judge is like, nah, he's going to represent you. So he just kind of came up and went, I don't know why we're here. And that's why it looked like he fumbled it.
break down video properly. Their video didn't break down my video properly. But I had a big dust up with the bailiff before it began. 5 minutes.
We watched.
Right back and forth.
We were there.
Went to the back.
Take us through that. What began that little confrontation with the bailiff?
They had heard all the other cases, and I was the only one left. It was me and just a couple people in the back who were supporters that came, and one troll sitting in the back. And the bailiff walked up to me and stood over the top of me. I was on a bench all alone. I had my leg up on the bench. He said, take your leg down on the bench. I was going to say, why? That's not how you sit in court. I said, dude, don't give me directives. There's nobody else on the bench but me. He said,
You have to have proper courtroom decorum? Who would have thought?
take your leg down now. I said, no, I'm not going to do it. There a code or statute or rule or law that says take my leg down? And he said, I'm going to call my sergeant over here. And he called over the other woman. She said, take your leg down. And I said, no. Just directing me around, demanding me around. And then they went through this, and then the cop was then the rest of it just was, as you would think, back and forth between me and the two bailiffs. The bailiffs went to the back, and they told the judge, who had been married to a cop, Las Vegas Metro cop, exactly what had happened. And when she came out, she was just ice. And then she said, I'm going to have you searched. And that triggered me again. What are you searching? Because I didn't have any recording devices on. You know, I know I've told people to wear recording devices, but she must have watched my videos, known that I said that. That's how she formed a bias. And then I was...
That's how she formed her bias. You just described how you were a grade A asshole before your trial even began. And instead of going, oh no, I messed it up off rip. Oh no, she's married to a cop, must be married to a cop, so she's obviously biased against me. She had to watch all my videos, and that's probably why she hates me. It's like, no, it's because you've been a dick throughout this entire chain of events to the point where you went out and did the exact same thing you were just convicted of. What, months prior? And I'm pretty sure he had phones on him, right? So him saying, oh, I didn't have any recording devices. Pretty sure a phone counts as a recording device. Who was the troll in the courtroom? Honestly, Ed, I haven't heard anybody was there, but in the grand scheme, anybody who's not just dick riding these people is obviously a troll. Just like that dipshit. I'm going to be breaking down the video. tyrants beware. The guy hiding behind the anonymous V for Vendetta mask. What's it called? Dear Lord, Brutal Bob, that just broke my brain there for a second. He took 47 minutes of a live stream, tried to break it down, and he's having a trouble comprehending that his community, by definition, fits what a troll is. But anybody who's not dick riding these people must be a troll, must be out to get him. It's like, no, you're just very unlikable.
Was triggered again, and then the prosecution put on their case, and then when I said, Michael, show my video and let's go over it, he said, no, I didn't put in evidence. I was triggered again, and those 3 triggers for me.
Just real quick, because it wasn't clear. You said that your attorney did not put your video into evidence?
That's right. That's right.
Nightman's wife brings up a good point. Maybe he's talking about the Nevada. In my head, he may be talking about the guy who's recording for our Nevada judges, because we don't like. I'm trying to word this properly. Our community regularly goes over there during premieres, during live streams, hangs out on our Nevada judges pages. Anytime somebody like Delete Laws, Roger Hilligus, Kim Blandino, like all these, we'll show those cases, we'll break down those cases, yada yada. But at no point does that mean that we're great friends who talk every day and all have this giant hate towards Chile. Our Nevada judges like, hey, we sit in the back, don't comment on things, and just record, and then put that recording with like breaking down what terms mean and stuff like that. We put that on our channel. That's it. And I think they actually commented on Chile saying something about them. And all he said was, yeah, we filed the paperwork to film. That's why we were able to film. And that's it. So he's not the smartest person. Chile's not the smartest.
I was so angry. My face flushed. I could feel the blood pressure in my head just palpitating, you know?
That knee pressure. You'll get him every time.
Mad. I was so just, God, you couldn't imagine how mad I was when my evidence wasn't entered. And he said she already saw it. And but that's not, you have to break it down. You go point, counterpoint, legal theory. And I just had lost my composure. 3 triggers in a row, and I just got up there and I just effed it up.
Yeah, you sure effed it up, Chile. Because in most cases that I've seen, at least, I'm not a lawyer, but I've seen quite a few cases online. When the prosecutor asks for a sentence, usually the judge will impose a sentence that is similar. And in this case, the prosecutor was asking for 90 days, and it would have been a suspended sentence, which means you would have spent 0 days in jail. But because of your big mouth, you earned yourself a nice 6 months in jail, and you have no one else to blame but you. You would think that at 50 years old, you would be able to control your temper just for a couple hours in your entire life. But nope, you are still the man-child that you are that cannot control his emotions.
So I'm going to piggyback here. Weapons, don't kill me for saying that. I'm going to piggyback right here off this guy's comment. Good old Frauditor troll. So if you noticed, all of these guys, I'm not trying to like age shame or anything, but like all of these people are near 50 or older, most of them. And they still act like they're like 12, 13-year-olds doing things to be edgy, thinking they're cool. And I don't know why. Like, at what point are you going to grow up? Why do they keep lying? I mean, Steve Drake, you're not wrong. Why do they keep lying? Because they're dim-witted cult followers and YouTube pay them to terrorize and lie. 1,000%. 1,000%. But yeah, all these people are like in their late 40s, 50s, 60s, or more. They're trying to be edgy. They're trying to be cool. And it's like, guys, all of your people are catching charges, catching convictions. And instead of going, oh shit, maybe the debunker community, maybe they were right when they told us, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, that once this COVID thing kind of gets behind us, we're going to get screwed. And then sure as shit, they just keep getting screwed over and over and over and over. And instead of just saying, maybe they were right. Nope. It must be a conspiracy that everyone is a tyrant and they're out to get them specifically. It's like, most people don't care about you. So that's not it. Like Chris, nobody's going to start a conspiracy about you 25 years ago and then try to bring it back up now. Like that, nobody cares. Nobody cares about you like that.
I just totally screwed it up. On the stand, I did a terrible job. And you have to go in and you have to show deference, and you have to be polite, you have to be cordial to everybody because they're all one big unit. Those bailiffs work for her day in and day out, and she sees them as her protectors. And when I barked at them like a dog, they went back and said, "This guy's a piece of shit." And then the guards in here can't believe them in jail. They're like, "No way." And it's so strange. The guards know who I am, but they do. They all know who I am. So.
Have you talked with your attorney about the statement that the prosecution made when she said, "Judge, we wouldn't be here today if he just followed the directives"?
I would venture to say that had the defendant just complied with the original order to not engage with the driver and to back up, we wouldn't be here.
And why your attorney didn't just go point by point and prove from the video that you followed both the directive to not talk to the driver and the directive to step back, because you fulfilled both directives. Now, did you fulfill his expectation of that last?
Again, if I remember correctly, the officer said, yes, I told him to take a step back, and he didn't really step back. And then they just showed that he maybe took 2 steps back, maybe. At what point does a person that has common sense, at what point, if a prosecutor said, hey, if you would have just listened when the officer said don't break the law, we wouldn't be here. What part of that is confusing? The officer saw you doing something, said, hey, can you take a step back and not do that? And your thought process was, nah, I'm going to try to fight the guard. Or I'm going to try to fight the officer when he puts a hand on me. Like, come on now.
Last directive on how far to step back, he didn't even qualify how far.
He didn't give me a feet amount. I had no idea.
Right.
In my mind, so I quoted Rodriguez versus United States. Rodriguez versus United States says that you cannot extend a stop for the driver or any other person unless there's reasonable articulable suspicion.
Okay, so if I remember correctly, this was a traffic stop, yes. A traffic stop for someone else. He let them go. Because Chile was being the aggressor in the situation, if you will. So it kind of seems like Rodriguez versus United States is not applicable to this situation.
Now, if my video had been played, I would have heard myself say that, and I would have gone into my legal theory. Look, I already identified myself as a member of the press. I already told them I'm a constitutional law scholar, I'm a member of the press, I'm recording them. And so then I would have went right back into what I was always thinking. I'm going to go point by point on my video. But then when my video wasn't presented, I lost my way. I had no trail to follow down. And I was so mad at the bailiffs. I was so mad at the cops who were accosting me in the courtroom. I mean, literally accosting me, standing over me when I was on the gallery. And then when they walked up and took my phones from me and literally put their hands in my pocket and jerked my pockets out, turned them inside out. And I was like, oh my God, I'm like, this is a Fourth Amendment violation. When you get accosted, you lose yourself. And I'm just human. I screwed it up, you know?
Yes, we know you're just a human, a super unnecessary human, if you catch my drift. And the whole cases he's putting up on the screen, all of it is irrelevant because this guy doesn't know jack shit. It's been proven in court. So it doesn't matter how many case law you put up on screen. It means nothing because you don't know how to interpret it. It's the same thing with DMA. Anytime DMA says anything about the law, it doesn't mean anything. It's complete bullshit because when he gets to court, he loses every single time. Why should we take lessons from serial losers?
I should have done it better. And I tell you, in the future, I definitely will. And I don't want to throw Michael Mee under the bus. He's not a bad human being, but didn't really prepare properly for even their evidence, you know, on their video, which shows that I stepped back because I'd seen that, and in my mind, he was going to go over, look, he's there, and now he's there. I watched the video 100 times. I thought I had the evidence. I went over the videos, and I thought for sure he would show he was here, and now he's here.
Yeah.
But he didn't do it, and I can't be my own lawyer. We actually applied 3 days before the trial. He would be a standby attorney so I could speak for myself. And she denied the motion, because if I had spoken for myself, I would have gone over that point by point, because I'd already broken it down at home. And I'm human.
So
And I haven't been.
what from this point, what can my audience and your audience and other audiences do to help you out? What do you need primarily?
I need money. So sorry. I hate to say that. My business, my trifold and card business, is really predicated on me going live for 2 or 3 hours a day and breaking down people getting pulled over and showing how it failed. That's what my business is predicated on. And my business went from a successful business to a business that a minimum wage worker might make every day. And so a year ago, I put together a GoFundMe, and I said, if anything happens to me, Chuck, please release GoFundMe. My appeals attorney is a really top-notch appellate attorney here in Las Vegas. He is one of the top attorneys in all of Nevada. So, I mean, it's expensive. It's $25,000. So, but I can't stay here. I can't stay in this place. I don't belong here.
How long do you think you'll be in? Do you think you'll be in there for the full 180?
No, I won't be. I'll be out of here in less than a month. As soon as we get the appeals hearing, I think I'm going to get out because the judge was so biased, married to a cop, had watched my videos, searched me illegally, violating my Fourth Amendment right, and then she was just biased from the beginning. It was totally biased.
So now holding people accountable for their actions means you're biased. What? And then, I'll be out in a month. That's not how that works. More than likely, you're going to do whatever time you have to serve, get out for a hot second, and be like, okay, cool. Or they might even handle it while he's in jail because Zoom is a thing. And they might go, you know what? While you're in there for 180 days, you might as well do 180 more on this other charge because you can't learn from your mistakes. I personally hope that happens. But yeah, Chile's just making things up at this point. You notice he's still whispering.
I'm completely biased. I don't need a lot, I just need people to
I just need $25,000. I don't need a lot.
How about your commissary? Do you need anything in your commissary right now? Or are you taken care of on that?
I have a commissary. My inmate number is 1669561, and it's Jose de Castro, 91174. Any amount of money from my commissary I'll get when I get out. And it's so funny. I didn't think I had very many friends, and I was wrong. I got a list here of people, dozens of people.
Is Charlie taken care of?
Yeah. Charlie's he's safe. He's safe. He's in a fenced yard with one of my family members, and
okay.
He's got everything.
You guys noticed that too. It seems like he's this close to just breaking down in tears. I feel like yummy tears. Yeah, exactly. It seems like Chile, it's finally hitting him. I'm in jail because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. You guys should give me $25,000. A little part of me hopes that his dumbass fans give him $25,000 and he just leaves the country. Like, that's genuinely what I feel like I want to happen. He goes, leaves the country, never to be heard from again. That's what I want for Chile.
Got another dog to play with.
Okay.
They got him right away. They got Charlie right away. They had Charlie within 3 hours of my arrest. Had him.
Like, look at these numbers. 5,000, 4,000, 5,000, 4,000, 5,000, 3,000, 2,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 6,000. My man has 535,000 subscribers. Is there a reason nobody's watching your content?
He was at my place, and they went over and grabbed him right away and got his pillow and got his chew toys and got everything for him. And he's doing okay. He's just waiting for me.
Richard, I have a bone to pick with you. You were in For Public Safety's chat not being mean to him. Very curious about that.
Okay.
I think I'm out of here on appeal, but I just need to raise money to get out. No matter what, I'm going to come.
You have 1 minute left.
If it hangs up, it hangs up, but I'll call you back. I'm not locked down for another 2 hours. I can call you back, Brian. I got to call 2 people, and I'll call you back.
Okay. All right. Bye. There's another way we can help too. If you can't afford to give through the GoFundMe, we can always go over to Chile's channel and binge watch some of his videos. That'll keep his ad revenue up. What I would suggest is maybe go to some of his popular videos and start at the top. And not only will you be entertained, but you also receive an education on how to handle police, case law, and all that. But I really think that we need to come through for Chile since he's come through for so many so often. I appreciate you watching this video. Please share this video. And if you can afford it, pitch in. If you can't, we can do it for free by binge watching videos, liking those videos, and sharing those videos out. Thank you guys.
Don't go to his page. Don't binge watch a damn thing. More than likely, most of you guys are in the same predicament I am. Chile blocked me a long time ago. I asked him a simple question, banned. It's kind of how it goes for them. They're all about transparency, unless it's for them or their friends or people who they randomly frauded with. Plus, he was supposed to meet his attorney at the attorney's office before the trial. Instead, dumbass went straight to court and started acting up. Yeah, I didn't know about this stuff previous or like prior to the trial. Like, if someone is going to, if I'm going to be on trial, I'm going to be minding my P's and Q's the entire time. Sitting there nice, not talk when it's how you doing, Judge? Good morning, good afternoon. How you doing? How's the family? Shit like that. I'm not going to be like, F this pig. I'm going to put my feet up like I own the place. Come on now. Chile's videos are lame and not interesting or really. I have tried my best to watch a few of his videos. Not to like get educated, but I think doing this in every one of your videos is hilarious. So I'm like, I'll click on one and watch it. My brain started crying. I lost IQ points trying to listen to Chile just stammer on about not like absolutely nothing, like just nonsense. Oh, of course he did, George. He said terrible things on social media about the judge before the trial even started. It's just like, you think to yourself, what do you not want to do before going to court? And it seems like all of these people just keep doing that. They're using that as the outline of what to do. And it's like, no, don't do that. All right. I'm going to, if somebody could, go over there and jump to, I'm going to go over here and jump to For Public Safety's live stream to see if that nonsense is still going. Like, I don't want to watch all of it. Simply because he's a little bitch. I'm going to be honest with you. He likes to privacy strike people. He likes to copyright strike people. Because again, it's all about transparency. Unless it comes to them, then can't have that. Live stream. A little part of me hopes he took it down. Oh, it's 42 minutes long. All right. Well, let me downvote it. Then I guess we can watch it. What judge doesn't like to be called sugar tits? Isn't it illegal to make calls from the jail and someone record it for profit? I would have to look into it for Nevada. Hey, I can't. Chris it looks like he's wearing a random gray shirt. I can't say anything. I have just no sense of style whatsoever, so I just wear the same shirt in like different colors, or I just buy 5 gray shirts, 5 black shirts. Like right now I'm wearing a damn Petco shirt that I have 6 of that just has different animals on the front. It's going to take us 3 hours to watch 42 minutes. However accurate that may be. No, we're probably not going to watch the whole thing. Well, technically, no, you're not allowed to profit from a crime, but yet YouTube lets them do it on YouTube every single day. It's just one of those things. I'm glad Ed's not, well, maybe Ed is here. He's just being silent about me touching my beard. Hey, sir, just getting here. Beanstalk. I enjoy that name. Okay, let me cue this up. Tones, if you aren't busy and would like to, come up. I'm pretty sure there's 250 people here that would not mind that at all. Let's see here. What other comments did I miss? It's like if you have a bag of weed in your car, you don't speed. Try to only break one law at a time. If you're actively breaking the law, like people who drive with no registration, no insurance, no license, no plate, why intentionally speed? Why intentionally drive by the officers and go, just for you to go by and then go, hey, that guy doesn't have a plate? Why intentionally bring the spotlight on you when you're already doing something wrong? All right. I'm going to play this video. We're all going to have a great time. Here we go.
And you beat me to the room. 25 people already here. What's up, Snark? Lisa? Surprise. I have a surprise for all of us. I was surprised. Got a wild hair there. What's up, Stephanie, Dwayne, Pets? So I went to the mailbox when I got home, and I got a court service. See that? I covered my address because I'm sick and tired of my address being blasted all over the internet. But I got a court service.
Just to let everyone know, I haven't blasted his address anywhere, and I don't even know it outside of Indiana, which in the grand scheme of the world is a pretty large place. All right, here we go. But also, just a shout out for Broken System, Broken Trust. If you update your address with the court, they will send you court paperwork that you can respond to, like hey, you have court this day. Hey, you're going to lose your daughter this day. Chris, he has a lot of problems. Getting paperwork for his court cases doesn't seem to be one of them. Just so everybody knows, Broken System, Broken Trust plays the card of, well, I don't have an address, so you can't send me paperwork. Therefore, I can't go to court.
Can y'all see the date on it? Y'all see the date? Tomorrow. I got a court service for Hardin County. That's the 1998 alleged marijuana case.
That's the one that the imposter Chris was there.
It's tomorrow. So my lawyer called when he got his too. We both got notified today that we have court tomorrow. I don't know why it was so sudden, and we've been waiting for months for some reason. I don't know what's going on. So I hope you didn't come in here thinking, oh, Chris is going to tell us what's going on. I won't know. I don't know. At first I thought, are they trying to pull a fast one? Like, what are they doing? They're going to try to arrest me or something. What's going on? Why so sudden? But they sent us a Zoom link for court, so obviously they're not trying to arrest me. Hopefully, so.
Yes and no. Again, this was for a probation violation. It was for, I believe, a probation violation from 1998. Which 1998? It's 2024. It was a kind of long ago, but if you recall from the Dummy Kruger video, Chris couldn't seem to tell the truth on the stand. So they probably might just say, all right, cool. Chris, just swing by the probation office. We're going to start that shit over again. Or, hey, Chris, go ahead and come on in. You're going to do some time in jail. Because if you are responsible and you are an adult and have things to take care of, being in court or being on Zoom, if they say, all right, come on in and you're going to go to jail, or hey, swing by the probation office, or hey, come by the judge's chambers, most adults are just going to say, okay, yeah, I'll get it taken care of because I did it. I'll take responsibility. Chris doesn't believe in that.
Troll. I hope it's good news too. Hopefully it gets dismissed as it should, because it wasn't my case.
The imposter theory.
Tiffany has been spending the last several hours going through the details of that case, because after all of the bullshit from the trolls that have been making a mess, a mockery of the actual evidence, twisting it all up, throwing it places that it don't belong, and twisting the timeline, and saying this matches this thing and that matches this thing. I mean, even a damn Larry Foreman, the fucking DUI guy, even he couldn't keep his shit straight when he tried to twist it all up.
He just basically said anyone with an IQ above 3, anybody with an IQ above room temperature, well, they must be wrong because I'm Chris Ryder and I said so. Now, again, we're going to break this down for Chris very, 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 very slowly. I have it up on a screen. I'm not going to share it. I'm just going to read it for you because, well, I have the ability to read. The term troll in the context that Chris is using it. Sorry if my face just got super bright. It's all white screen on Wikipedia. A troll is a person who posts deliberately offensive or provocative messages online. Frauditor community. Such as in social media, a news group, a forum, a chat room, an online video game, or who perform similar behaviors in real life. Again, we're sounding more and more like frauditors. The methods and motivations of trolls can range from benign to sadistic. These messages can be inflammatory, insincere, digressive, extraneous, or off-topic, and may have the intent of provoking others into displaying emotional responses or manipulating others' perception, thus acting as a bully or provocateur. The behavior is typically for the troll's amusement or to achieve a specific result, such as disrupting a rival's online activities or purposefully causing confusion or harm to other people. Yes, that basically sums up the frauditing community. So I don't know why they're trying to throw it like, I'm not doing anything controversial. I'm not trying to mess with anyone else. If you think telling the truth and using logic is, disrupting you, maybe you should take a step back and be like, oh shit, maybe I'm the problem. But again, Chris won't do that. Okay, KFARR, I'm out. Iowa versus West Virginia is on. Caitlin Clark is the best story in America. Fair.
That's what we're solving today. Tiffany and I. We have,
the two brightest legal minds.
You will win tomorrow for sure. Yeah, I think we already won, buddy. Thank you. I'm pretty sure
I think we all know who Tube Sock is. So you played yourself, Chris.
Already won. Tomorrow should be the result, is what I believe. Now, as most of you know, a big portion of that record was sealed, and that should be because I've made a criminal report on J.J. Scarborough, the Meade County jailer, for requesting that record as the Meade County Detention Center and then blasting it all over the internet because it came along with all of my private legal information, and I have been being frauded on it ever since. He gave it to people who would intentionally commit fraud.
What? Chris just keeps stepping in it over and over and over. We're like, hey, Chris, there's a landmine. He's like, let me go jump on it. If it's sealed, I'm pretty sure the elected official of a county that runs the jails, I'm pretty sure if it's actually sealed, it's sealed. I know you got to go through X, Y, and Z and jump through X, Y, and Z hoops to get things unsealed. The fact that it's a probation violation for weed, I'm pretty sure no one actually sealed it. He was an adult at the time. I believe he was an adult. It was 1998. He seems to be a little bit older than me. I was 7 in 1998. So do with that information what you will. I believe he was an adult. Or by adult, I mean over 18. So they're not going to seal a weed probation violation because Chris asked them to. It's not anything important enough.
And they did. So we know that there's a guy named Jackson Kennedy from Australia, or allegedly from Australia, allegedly Jackson Kennedy, who did it in my email, in my GoFundMe account. Him and Kaiser made fake GoFundMe accounts with my GoFundMe account because they used my private information, like my license number and all that stuff, to change my account into theirs, and then created fake GoFundMes and collected money. Donna in here, she was a victim. She gave money to the fake account, and it apparently went into, I don't know where it went. But
so now he's telling his fans that random people are making fake GoFundMes, stealing from Chris's people. Like, from what I've been told, people were reporting those GoFundMes as fraud because they were Chris's. So now, is this an imposter GoFundMe thing again? This sounds like some CIA shit. Yeah, no joke.
There's an investigation going on that. And that's not the only thing. They also canceled my other GoFundMes that I was using to pay for our raid lawsuit and for Thomas Clay.
If a website has a terms of service and you violate said terms of service, your account, or GoFundMe in this case, is probably going to get terminated. It seems like, from what I'm reading up on, that's what happened to Chris, and he is trying to throw shade at everyone else, when if he really wants to throw shade at anyone, he should be trying to email GoFundMe and saying, hey, I know I violated your terms of service, but I'm Chris. That's all he can do.
Thankfully, we'd already collected the majority of the money on that and got them paid. We still owe Thomas Clay a whole bunch of money, like a whole bunch. I'm talking like 10,000, close to it. What's up, Scotto?
Sucks to suck.
Wolverine, Tom, girl with the camera. Great to see all of you. 262 people. It's amazing. And Cap. Oh man. Hey Wayne, Doris. So yeah, tomorrow. Hey Melissa, I got your message earlier. STD, what's up, buddy? Steve, there's a lot of people in here, honey. Stephanie, Cliff, yeah, lots of people. I don't want to get too off track here. So
too late.
Tomorrow should be I think it's going to be the end result. I think they're just going to finally get it over with, and I'm hoping to dismiss it. I mean, that's what it should be. But regardless whether they do or don't, Tiffany and I have decided that we are going to publish the actual timeline records in the face of the people who have been botching it. So put a one in chat if you want us to show everybody that they've been full of shit that have been going against us.
You've already shown, in my opinion, the most he can show. And it seems like anybody who's doing independent research and not taking Chris's word for it keeps finding out, like, oh, your timeline seems to be very edited to push a narrative.
We can at very least with these records prove that everything that has been being alleged, like that I didn't go to jail. And now listen, I will say this now, and I've said it already, but I want to make sure everybody's very clear and understand.
All right, guys. Well, this just got very interesting. And, everybody's here today.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Oh, dear God.
Oh, there we go.
All right. This is exciting. So what do you guys think of Chris so far?
Man, I'm trying not to. I mean, he's just, it's pure delusion. I mean, the mental gymnastics necessary to make what he's claiming happening possible, it could win a freaking Olympic medal.
Yeah, he's absolutely 100% correct. Why is my camera not on? I'll work on that. But like what I did a long time ago, I did a whole bunch of research on this. The people who are deep in the lore know that. And all they're doing with these videos, both Chile, the phone call, like his court appearance, the phone call, and then what this guy's saying right now, they all exhibit their personality disorders. They're just showing that they're cluster B, that they're involved in some kind of paranoid delusion. They keep saying it, like he's talking about right now. He's talking about how, like, oh, something happened with this website and my fund and the thing that I was trying to do, and it obviously it's to trolls and blah blah blah. They're exhibiting all of that, and tons, like you probably see it all the time with all the research you do, that these guys they do jump through what you said, mental gymnastics. That's the perfect point, because what they're doing is they're in the face of overwhelming evidence. They do what?
They move the goalposts. They sorry, I'm just
That's fine.
They move the goalposts. They, come up with some kind of random, just it's just some convoluted explanation. Like, it's just the weirdest thing.
But it's also always persecutory. It's always against them, right? It's always something that if it wasn't them, it wouldn't have happened. Which is part of also another part of that personality disorder, which is the grandiose part of it. And Chile is the perfect example of the grandiose personality disorder.
Oh, yeah, I also like to think that they got a bit of main character syndrome going on.
Yeah, and that's part of that. That's what grandiose is. It basically is that they have to feel important in some way. Yep. They have to be like you said, the main character. That's the perfect way to roll that is they have main character scenario and a main character personality disorder, I guess, is what you might want to give them. They accumulate grievances like crazy. If someone and everyone will break their trust eventually. When they do confide, they don't confide in people. Everything has to be a big secret because they're so paranoid about it and they're so afraid of it. And everything has to have a hidden meaning to it. It can't be what it is on face value. It couldn't be you were making fraudulent accounts so that you broke terms of service, so they shut it off. No, it has to be some hidden meaning. It has to be some bigger deal.
It has to be a conspiracy. Like, everyone has to be against. It's professional victimhood at its finest. And
Tones, I think you'll appreciate the comment on screen.
Yes. You know what? I didn't want to show my hand. I really didn't. But
don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Oh, what the hell?
Josh Abrams is. Are you going to do it? Okay.
I might as well do it. He doesn't want to know. But I may or may not have emailed the town of Townsend, specifically the clerk's office, just to verify. It was just to ask for confirmation. Is this the same Joshua Abrams who has multiple felony convictions, runs a YouTube channel where he berates, harasses, and demeans public servants, whether it be and civilians alike, who also accused an elderly man of being a child predator without cause in Acton. Like all these things. I pretty much asked, is he the same person? And they said, oh, we can only confirm that his name is Joshua Abrams, and they told me where, and for obvious reasons, I don't want to dox anybody. They did disclose his address, which I do know it, but I've made no point to ever share it because, I have integrity, unlike some people. And it's a match. It's him. And then, of course, he went on his channel and confirmed he is running for that position. So that was kind of redundant. But the point is, they may be aware, because I did ask them, does your town have any kind of policy against convicted felons running for public office? Now, if it turns out they don't have that policy or a law, it's like, okay, fine. You do you, Josh. If you want to become a public servant, that's fine. Just don't be surprised if you actually get elected, that you're going to find yourself every day with cameras in your face and people cussing you out.
Well, I was just going to say, look at it this way. Take a step back. If you knew of a convicted, geez, what am I even saying? A convicted felon who's running for whatever, he's running for, and they get elected, frauditors would be like, oh, obviously he's corrupt. We're going to go annoy the piss out of him.
Yeah.
We're going to go up there every single day. And it's like, because they're Josh Abrams, they're going to be like, oh, I don't know how to feel right now. It's like, do we harass you? Are we boys still? What are we doing?
But I think his video catalog is going to make for great campaign material, don't you?
Oh, don't ever let him debate anyone. Don't ever let him debate anyone.
I mean, it's just, I'll say this. The weird part is, like, he's running for the position. I believe it's for the town select board. Now, I admit I do have to do a little more research and find out exactly what they do. But do you really want somebody who was convicted of larceny to be in this kind of position? I mean, it's just setting the stage for someone who, with given the opportunity to commit embezzlement, probably will. Because let's be honest, the way he lives, and the stuff he does for a living, it ain't cheap.
If he's convicted, I don't think you can run for office if you've been convicted of a felony. Has he been convicted of a felony or just misdemeanors?
Armed robbery, aggravated assault with the actual ones that he had.
There's a very good reason we don't allow felons to vote or hold office is because we don't want the criminal class to become a voting group, a special interest. But and that's the very reason why you put a guy like that in office and they start influencing policy, and next thing you know, you got problems.
Yeah,
So let me see if I can go down the list here.
gone.
Felony, assault, dangerous weapon. He was convicted of that. Felony, larceny by false pretenses. He was convicted. Felony, intimidation. He was convicted. Felony, assault with dangerous weapon. Again, convicted. And felony, armed assault to rob with a crowbar. Convicted. Felony, A and B, dangerous weapon. A crowbar again. Now I think these are
His lucky crowbar.
charges. Not multiple cases, but
he's specialized. He's a specialist in the crowbar.
His weapon of choice.
See, KFARR, if you had a fez with you, you'd have all this information on hand right away.
Hey, well, if it makes you feel any better, I just found my fez the other day.
No,
while I was cleaning down here.
Yeah, and also you need a spaceship too. You need that.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean Fezington? If I had a Fezington out,
you get a Fezington and a spaceship.
I'm not
all
that fancy.
Instead, you have a basement. You have a basement.
I can't space drop into New Jersey. yeah. Tones has been here. He knows. Oh, fucking A. All right, let's listen to a little bit more of this. We're only 5 minutes in.
Before you hit play, I want the chat to listen for things like the paranoid stuff, the delusional things, like it's something is out for me. There's something going against me, all that delusional paranoia. And then things like how they can't rationalize things in despite all the evidence to the contrary. You're going to hear all that. I haven't even seen this. I know we're going to hear it. I just know we are. Go ahead. Roll tape.
In this, Wynn was early on saying, when I get that video from the Meade County clerk in the Meade County case, when I get that video, it's going to show me in an orange jumpsuit and chains. It's a figure of speech. I was saying that I was going to have, the video was going to prove that I was in the jail because I was. Okay? Now, don't hold that against me. Don't hold me
that
having
nervous
a figure
laugh
of speech against me because I do have a video.
But I was
and
in the
I was
jail.
not in an orange jumpsuit and chains. I was in the same clothes I was arrested in. And we're talking over a big time span because I was probably released from the jail that day, I would say.
I believe he said something earlier about that he doesn't have anything to do with this case. But now he's saying that they have that's what I'm getting at. Like, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I heard him say earlier that he has nothing to do with that case, the imposter case, I think I called it.
And
now he's like, oh, well, they have a video of me. I'm not in a jumpsuit though. It's just the clothes they arrested me. And it's like, so were you lying, or is this case have to do with you?
Oh, by the way. Wait.
Wow, this guy is a few scoops short of a Sunday, isn't he?
Little cameo. Love it.
Yes, Linda, he's backpedaling. It seems like Chris tried to just trust me, bro, all the way to this point, and now I go through his thing. Even his own people are like, hey, Chris, maybe you should show those receipts now. You keep claiming you have this, and this, but you still haven't shown anything. Maybe it's time now. And
but it's
like,
again, I predicted this was going to happen. He's already into delusional mode. It centers on him, but it's not his fault. Like, we're already there.
Wait, so he's talking about his domestic violence case.
Oh,
so is that where he? So okay, so you guys probably not you two, but the chat probably knows this a lot better. And there's 324 people in here. Jesus Christ! So is he trying to say that he has nothing to do with the first case because he was locked up for something else? Is that what he's trying to say? Because, dear God, please, that would be amazing. Yeah, I was actually doing something much serious, or much more serious.
It can't be me because I was in jail.
Yeah, I was in jail for domestic violence. I couldn't have gotten caught with weed. Is he lying or just not telling the truth? Oh, God. All right.
Now we're still with those records. Are we confident that I spent the minimum 10 days Yeah, we're confident that I spent a minimum of 10 days in jail. And I have the video, and really, I could prove it in less than, 3 minutes? In a 3-minute clip. I could prove it in a 3-minute clip, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to cut you short. We have been avoiding talking about the details about this case because it's under litigation. Nobody seems to give a shit about that except for you guys and us. As far as the trolls who are hammered and Larry Foreman, they don't give a shit about talking about open litigation, apparently. That's what they've been trying to force me to do.
How many times have they already talked about open litigation? I'm pretty sure that's like their whole channel. But KCP, thank you for the one gifted membership. Mecca Churchill received it. But yeah, isn't that like their whole thing? They always talk about that raid case, and it's been in the middle of litigation since I started covering this guy, I believe.
But let's go back for a second. Like, how do you not know how many days? How do you not know how many days in jail you spent? Is like he's so in and out of jail so often that he can't figure out how many days he spent in jail?
I will break this to you.
Makes sense.
Because I actually talked to somebody about this, and they told me it's KFARR. It's because you're a good person. It's because you don't go in and out of jail. Like if I do something as big as being arrested for domestic violence or weed or whatever and spend 10 days in jail, I'm going to know the exact date, the exact number of days, the exact date I got out. But because this is just like a Tuesday for Chris, he's just like, I did some time this one time. You know what I'm saying?
I thought it was because, time moves differently when you're on the inside.
Yeah, it's just.
Hang on. Like, Pleasanton's coming back.
It's fascinating how these morons claim to have all this evidence. Yet in the court of public opinion, where there are no rules, no judge to deem what you say or show to be inadmissible, they don't want to just up and show it to everyone.
That's a good point, Pleasanton. Yeah. I'm doing this. So, yeah, like he says, I have it. I could prove it in 3 minutes. Okay. Then do it right now. Like, show it to us. Show us the receipts.
But then he says,
"You're not in a courtroom. You could do whatever you want."
Yeah. My whole thing, showing evidence that you're not guilty, showing evidence that you're not guilty isn't going to hurt you either way. But it's like if you're innocent, shouldn't you be sending that to the court to be like, hey,
send it to the newspapers?
But his best line, the whole thing was, but I'm not going to leave you hanging. You actually are. That's exactly what you're doing.
I'm not going to leave you hanging. Like, okay, I'm sorry. This isn't an entertainment thing. Isn't this supposed to be about your freedom? Aren't you the victim of this conspiracy that somehow that you're so important in the eyes of the government that they want to silence you?
Right.
And yet you want to withhold the evidence that proves your innocence from your audience because you don't want to let the cat out of the bag too soon.
That's part of the delusion. That's
part
of the actual psychology.
Sorry.
1 second. Elizabeth McLemmon, became a member. Thank you for that. And then followed that up with gifting 1 membership, and WV Sniper received that. But
that's actually
to
part
piggyback
of their
on what Weapon said.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. It's 3 minutes. It'll only be 3 minutes, but I'm not going to leave you hanging. So I'm going to show none of it. And it's just like,
it makes no sense.
Yeah, it's like I could do it right now, but I'm not. But that is part of the grandiose side of things. I have information you don't. It's one of the things that is a very common trait with these people. And people, not just the sobs and frauds, but people with cluster B personality disorders will do that. They'll be, I have special knowledge. The things I do are something has to be special about them. Like the fact that they're like, I'm an activist. They all run around saying they're activists and that they're doing things for people. Like we saw early on in the previous video where he was like, hey, Chile does all this for our cause, and he's an activist and he helps people, blah, blah, blah. They all want to have something like that. So for him, this guy right here, this little, forgive the term, ladies and gentlemen in the chat, this fuck stick. Or if you're a Radical fan, dick flute. I think that might be more appropriate. Again, apologies. He thinks that this special bit of information he has is one of the things that will make him. That's part of the grandiose side of the disorder that we're seeing witnessed. We're witnessing it right now. We're seeing it exhibited right now. So
let me do channel business again.
Yep.
Elizabeth McLemmon gifted another membership. Navy Girl received that. And then Greg, because we're starting a thing now, Greg gifted 5 memberships. I'm not gonna read them because it's 5 people. That's
cool.
y'all are killing me.
Nice.
I appreciate it.
All right,
But yeah.
as we must, we have to hear him drone on more, don't we?
Yeah. Let's let him spew crap.
Well, I got another member. Hold on.
Oh.
So Sandy's a maniac became a
KFARR.
member.
Ooh, we may have a new word there.
Yeah, you like that? You like that?
Hey, remember, chat. The more memberships you guys gift, the more time it's going to take before you have to listen to Chris's ridiculous voice.
The more memberships you give, the closer and closer Chile is going to get to crying.
That was some ridiculous acting.
I was listening to that whole part, and I was saying it in the chat too. Like, I had one hand on my phone, the other hand, stir frying my vegetables. But, I'm just hearing him say all this stuff. It's like, oh yeah, you get yelled at, not just by the guards, but everyone else. It's like, well, who else is in a prison besides guards? That means he's pissing off his fellow inmates. I wouldn't be surprised if he had to go to solitary because he almost got his ass kicked.
He probably stood on the table as soon as he got there, pounded his chest, yelled, "I'm King Kong," and they're like, "Get down before we stab you."
Yeah,
it's
ridiculous.
That whole phone call was probably all brought on by the grandiose side of the delusion, where that I have to talk in hushed tones because I don't want somebody to hear me because what I'm saying is so crazy. And then he made this big victimhood story, which has always been his shtick, torture cups and the whole 9 yards.
It's just ridiculous, and I mentioned this to KFARR on Discord earlier, but it's like, we're gonna have to wait 6 months for it, and I'm not even gonna say I hope. He genuinely is not getting out of prison with how stupid he was in court. He practically admitted that he screwed up and it's his fault. He's in this situation, so any argument on appeal would be completely pointless. But what do you want to bet when he gets out? I swear, the moment he even thinks to compare his incarceration with the experience of a Holocaust survivor or something,
he's going to be
his ass is going to be fried.
He's going to try to come out thinking he's Martin Luther King Jr.
and Rosa
Parks or Mandela.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
If Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King Jr. had a baby, and then that baby had a baby with Jesus, that's Chile. That's what Chile's.
I thought that was DMA. Chile's the afterbirth.
He's going to monetize it and capitalize off it like he always does.
Yeah, of course he will. And he'll probably write a book called My Struggle. And
Walter says he will compare himself to Nelson Mandela.
People, I don't know if the chat gets it. My Struggle.
I got it.
Very similar to
someone
translated
German
in German.
German title.
Someone else wrote a book by that title, but in a different language.
Yeah, and he wrote it in prison.
He had a funny mustache.
And then he tried to take over the world. So.
All right. Back to Chris.
We gotta watch Chris. All right.
So I've been refusing to do that, but at the same time, I've known all along that I have the proof that I was in the jail. I didn't get released. So what they're saying is in Meade County, this is a different county, not Hardin County, okay? In Meade County in 1999, has nothing to do with the weed. So don't let that get stuck in your head. It has nothing to do with the marijuana cigarette. That is Hardin County.
Why you say it like that?
A year before, has nothing to do with it. Thank you, Donna. She wants a wave from you, Tiff. She paid $10 for you to wave. You gonna come over here and give her a wave?
I'm gonna have to hang on just a second.
She said, "Hang on just
Please
a minute,
don't
Donna.
get on
She'll
camera.
make sure you get your wave."
Please don't get on camera.
So let's talk about a couple of dates. The allegation of the marijuana charge was in. Do you remember the month?
What?
The marijuana allegation. The citation for marijuana.
Wait, you don't remember?
The one that they alleged was me. And I didn't say it was
so
an
often.
imposter. I said it's falsified records.
I'll take questions you never asked your spouse for 5,000.
Okay, we're gonna stop here for a
What was
second.
that charge?
So he is saying, I didn't say that there was an imposter. I'm saying that there was what was the term he used?
False allegation.
Fabricated,
Fabricated
like false
allegation or
paperwork.
something. Yeah.
And it's like, Okay, so if that's the case, but then there was somebody going by your name, paying fines, doing probation, and shit like that, the heir didn't do that for you. It must have been an imposter. It's like
Yeah.
we're implying imposter because it's ridiculous, but it's also factually accurate.
I
Maybe he has
can't
It was a
imposter
synth.
syndrome.
It was a synth. That's what it was. Go some Fallout 4. It was a synth. That's what it was.
Well, that's the thing. One of the parts of this personality disorder is a constant. You constantly build on the lie. You build on that lie to yourself. You can't confide in anyone because remember, you don't trust anyone unless it's somebody who's like similar to you, like AKA some of these guys have like their little significant others following them around and like they're part of their little fan clubs. But like, I think that's part. I think we're all they just keep doing is proving that they do have some kind of problem that needs addressing. And it instead of addressing it, what happens is they commit crimes, get arrested. That contributes to more of their delusion, and it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse.
Oh God, we have a bunch of solid comments here. Let me, because as Tones knows, these are going to make great shorts. These are going to make great shorts when I sit down and make this nonsense tomorrow. We got Chris, or as Scott says, Chris has a nose like a Polish sausage. That's solid. Tiffany is holding note cards. In my head, they have a teleprompter that just keeps saying, Chris, don't say this. Chris, don't say this. Let's see here. Imposter was a figure of speech. Yep. But didn't his attorney tell that to the judge? It wasn't me defense. Yes. It was a pod person. He did say there was it was a clone.
It was the Shaggy defense. Wasn't me.
Yeah, it wasn't me. Let's see here. You can tell Chris reads from a script. Fact.
Yeah.
He can't keep track of his own lies. Untreated mental illness. May have been an imposter. Chrissy thinks we all lie as much as him. Yeah. I got excited. I got excited. I thought Chris was here for a second. It's for public safety too.
Oh. All you guys are on the lawsuit. Okay.
It's like, hey, he already messaged Jennifer 6 months ago talking about trying to sue me. He wanted my address so that he could send the paperwork.
Yeah, to which I would tell him, I am not under any obligation whatsoever to assist you in your litigation against me. You could talk to my lawyer.
Just
this is my attorney's number, Chris.
Or just like how they do.
One digit.
You know how they do when like they get pulled over? They're like, well, I don't have to help you in your investigation, so I don't even have to give you my name. Like, well,
yeah.
Do your own investigative work.
I do not wish to make joinder with you.
Yeah.
I am not MC Dillygaff brings up a great point. I'm assuming both of you watched the DUI guy for public safety interview type thing. He tried to trick the DUI guy, but the DUI guy like, hey, I find out I suss out liars for a living. You seem sketchy, bud.
Yeah.
And he's like mad at him for it. Like,
I know when you start talking about the DUI guy, it's like I'm thinking, okay, seriously, if first of all, if you got that guy's attention, you know you've screwed up, and you think he's going to be on your side.
Well, I think it's because Craig, to my knowledge, is paying the DUI guy to represent him in court. So he's like, oh, he's representing my boy. He's going to shill for me. I might get some subscribers, might get some more super chats.
Yeah.
And then it was just like, yeah, your story seems like bullshit. Can you elaborate? And he's just like, nah, I can't. It's ongoing litigation.
I think you can sum that up in the age-old expression, never kid a kidder.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
or never try to bullshit a bullshitter.
The trial attorney whose job is to get people on the stand and be like, you seem to be lying. Let's talk about that.
Right.
Started interviewing Chris, and then you could just see it, like the light bulb go off in his head, like, oh shit, this guy is a scumbag.
The bullshit meter will go off strongly with all of these guys, and again, it's because they don't even know when they're lying because they're so down the rabbit hole of their own delusion. I mean, you can compare. You guys know this better than I do, better than anyone here, because you probably spend hours and hours watching the bullshit these guys put out. Oh, Jesus Christ. Rump Ranger.
You ever think maybe we're a little too cruel sometimes?
No.
Neither do I.
No. I mean, I sometimes, but then you watch another video and you're like, nope.
Yeah.
4 years ago, KFARR would have been like, wow, this is really messed up. But then like, oh, cool, clear water's going. Night, bye. Yeah, I watch other people. Like I watched, why am I drawing a blank? Team Skeptic the other day. And then I'm just like, I'm nowhere near as mean as him. So I must be okay.
Hey,
But then I go back and watch my videos where I was trying not to swear and be like semi-nice. And I'm just like, what was that kid thinking?
He name dropped both you guys the other day on his live.
Yeah. I was watching that, and he was saying that I covered Chile before him. And the truth is, I think he covered it before me, but I think Kick covered him before either of us.
I think
Kick would have to.
It has to be Kick's fault because, well, obviously
it is. Everything is.
It has to be Kick.
Oh,
poor Kick.
But no, like but yeah, Chile's initial traffic stop video was the one that, I mean, everyone kind of covered it. We thought it was a one-off. We didn't think anything was going to happen. But then over time, it's like, okay, this guy's back. And then the whole Ironton thing happened. And, like he launched himself into infamy. It's like, it's just like, he only has himself to blame.
And what Chile does, and what he does best in my mind, is merge the sovereign citizen, a delusional ideology, and this frauditor concept into one weird amalgamation of crazy and stupid, all boiled into one. Like, and it's like, that's where you can see the connection between the two ideologies and how they're just different parts of the same whole.
Tones, didn't you break down some of the stuff that was on his trifold? I forgot if it was.
Oh yeah, I remember. I did a video about it. God, I have to go back and watch it.
A lot of his shit is just like completely nonsensical and taken completely out of context.
Exactly, and that's the thing I've noticed with like sovereign citizens too. Like they, you know what they do? They type in a specific quote that they want to hear, and then they just type in extra words like Supreme Court case, and then they see it in the Google results, but they don't actually go and read the context, because they will quote those words coming out of the mouth of the party that didn't win the case.
I'll raise you one. That Eric Martin guy that I showed the other night, the sovereign citizen from Michigan. It wasn't this case, but I want to say it was the one prior. He was going at it with the prosecutor, and the prosecutor's like, listen, I went through the paperwork you submitted in the Supreme Court cases you quoted. Not only do they not agree with your case, some of them aren't even cases. They're just somebody wrote down somebody v. somebody else.
Yeah, they'll read.
They're not even real cases.
They'll grab stuff from the dissenting opinion. They'll grab a quote from the dissenting opinion, or they'll grab a quote from the majority decision, the decision opinion. But what they'll do is they'll take the paragraph where they're like, despite the fact that the blah 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 said blah 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 blah, that we decided this. They'll ignore the we decided this bit like they do with poster 7, and they'll just quote that little bit that was actually in there so that the decision would read against it. Like, that's what they do. And that is another part of the that's just a lack of critical thinking, really. That's not really delusion. That's just lack of critical thinking is all that is.
Well, the Supreme Court cases regarding driver's license. Those are the funniest to me, because good old broken system, broken trust has tried to claim, I forgot if it was Thompson v. Smith or Hendrick v. Maryland. He tried to quote one of them and say, oh yes, it says right here, you don't need a driver's license to drive. But then proceeded to ignore the paragraph right underneath that said, unless you do X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
And it's just like, well, that already, your own case debunked your case.
This all began with poster 7. Like, they read the first half, and then they didn't read the except when prohibited, as in it can be prohibited. It could be, the permission could be rescinded at their discretion.
So, and that again comes back to, in people with these personality disorders, there is one of the diagnostic criteria is when they ignore conflicting evidence to what they believe. Once they believe something, and if you I believe the sky is red, and then you take them outside and hold their head up and make them look at the sky and show them it's blue, they'll be like, no, you did that to prove me wrong. It's not actually blue, it's red. You're just trying to trick me. Or they will not believe. They'll believe what they want to believe despite any conflicting evidence to the contrary, which is why they keep happening. Believe it or not, I mean, obviously, like any normal person would look at every sovereign citizen ever in their giant empty room full of lawsuits they have not won and be like, yeah, I'm not doing this. But some people, they can't get that far down the road.
They can't embrace reality. I mean, the thing I've always figured about these guys is that they've screwed up their lives immeasurably, and they feel that they can't fix it. So the only thing they could do to try to feel like their life has any meaning is to shift the blame somewhere else, to make it sound like, oh, I'm not in this predicament because of my fault. It's because of something else. Like they are terrified of reality so much that when confronted with it, they will come up with anything to try to explain it away, like to dismiss it, because the moment they let reality in, their insecurity will just flood.
Well, and that's yeah, and you have to be careful though, because there are some people who use who are using this ideology, and then there are those who believe it. I'm of the opinion, again, this is my theory, my thesis. I'm not a psychologist. This does not officially represent the opinions of this channel, but in my personal opinion, there are people who use this stuff. A lot of the SOBs are that way because somewhere along the line they lost their DL. You know, they couldn't get their vehicle registered or something like that. They went to prison and they got this, like, you know, they had a Chile somebody in there, like, convinced them of this bullshit, and then off they went into the la land of sovereign citizenhood. But then there are others, and I think a lot of the frauditors, well, not a lot, I'd say about half the frauditors are on this side of the spectrum, where they literally, honestly are that delusional, where they kind of really, because remember, the frauditor, what makes them different is they actively go out and do stuff on the ideology. Like, they act on the ideology. Whereas the sovereign citizen, for the most part, just kind of like minds their own business. So when you look at
here, hold on a second. Got some channel business. Dave, member for 16 months, which is a hell of a long time. Hello, KFARR. Oh, hey, Dave. But no, Paul Brown made a great comment going back a hot minute for the just citing random cases. Said quoting old heavyweight fights would be more relevant. Type things. Yeah, that's what it seemed like he was doing. He bought the script from the Guru Online, and this is just a conspiracy theory. I'm positive that there is a guru out there, and they know damn well what they're peddling is absolute garbage. But they're like, there's people out there that are so desperate and so dumb that they're going to use this. They're going to pay me hundreds of dollars for this just to get pulled over, fail, and go to jail. And I'm going to tell them it's because it's corrupt and there's a conspiracy, not because I'm wrong.
Exactly. They can't be wrong. I mean, you know, it's there's a quote that I remember whenever I look at these people, and like I look at someone like Chris, and all I could think of is, yes, so here you are, feeding on your own loneliness, consumed by your own pain, believing in your own lies. Like he's pissed at himself, and so he feels like, well, if I'm pissed at the world more, then I don't have to take responsibility. I don't have to accept that I've made mistakes.
Great, that's awesome. That's a great way to look at it. See,
and yeah, and by the way, bonus points to anyone in the chat who knows where that quote came from. But by the way, speaking of cases, my favorite case is Haley versus United States. United States, or Haley 7, United States nothing. Now, who could guess where that's from?
Maybe I should unmute myself. I said, let's jump back into Chris for a hot second. I don't do this. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah.
Oh wait, Mr. Professional YouTuber guy, before you get going, I was gonna sign out, and I have another obligation I was gonna move on to. But Tones, is great talking to you.
Oh, absolutely.
And, KFARR, thanks for having me up. Just remember, guys, keep an eye out for that those different personality traits, the delusions, the conspiracy theories, the make it about me stuff that they do. That they are some crazy how oppressed or think people are out to get them. That's all part of their cluster B, paranoid, delusional personality disorder that these guys got rolling. Plus the grandiose side of it. They exhibit all those characteristics. And I'm sure, I've never seen this before, but I'm sure if you keep watching this long enough, you're going to see all of that on full display. But everybody have a good night, and I'll talk to you guys later.
Yeah, have a good night, man. It was great talking to you. By the way, before you go, I just realized something. Between the three of us, it's bearded guys with hats, and then we've got Chris as the fourth one.
Jeez.
I had to put it out there.
But mine's all gray and shit. Like I don't get to rock the cool beard like KFARR. So
All right, man. You have a great night.
yeah, man. I'll see you guys later. Bye. Or as KFARR would say, bye.
Bye. Yeah, Nightman's wife, Chile, did seem to admit that while he was on the stand. He's like, yeah, my business is selling legal paperwork to people. And it's just like, maybe you shouldn't put that on the record.
Yeah, he admitted to so many freaking things that are going to make appeal impossible. I mean, all the prosecutor has to say is like, well, by his own admission in various public statements, he knew what he did was wrong. He knew that he got the sentence he got because he couldn't keep his ego in check and couldn't wait for, maybe 5 minutes before acting like an asshole. Yeah. Like he literally proved the prosecution's case. Like this is his natural setting.
Well, if you notice, they didn't ask Chile any questions.
Yeah,
once
once
his attorney got done asking him questions, they're like, well, you see, Judge, you see, Your Honor, they proved it for us.
Yeah. Well, what was there was some comedian where it's like a debate where it's like after the person does it, he just goes, I have nothing to add. In fact, I relinquished the rest of my time to my colleague here. Just like he's basically proving their case because he, in all of his ramblings and all in his sermon about everything, he never once disputed the officer's testimony. In fact, I love the fact that he said, this as the officer himself testified. Oh, so you're corroborating what he said? You're not claiming he's lying. You're saying, oh no, what he said is true. Well, okay, that what not to do in your defense at a trial 101? It's like seriously, like he made no effort to say the law was wrong. He made no effort to say the testimony was wrong. He did nothing. Like he got up on there and treated it like he was in front of a webcam in his van.
Well, that's why I told you right off the bat,
Yeah.
or I don't know if you were up here yet, but it's like Chile's treating the real world the same as he treats behind the wheel of his car on a live stream while he's driving.
Exactly. Yep.
And it's like those are completely different spaces where completely different rules apply.
And there's a reason frauditors don't roll the dice at trial. I mean, sure, they can get their cases dismissed in the early stages, but when it looks like they're going to have a trial no matter what, they usually fold and take a plea deal. And the reason for that is the moment they have to actually, because that's the thing that I was saying. KFARR, you may remember I was talking about this, but social media culture is starting to leach into places it should not go. I mean, the internet has been both a gift and a curse to this world, but there are people who think that the rules of the court of public opinion somehow work in the rules of in the court of law. They don't.
Broken system, broken trust literally said just that. Well, I may lose in court, but I'll win in the court of public opinion.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, it seems to me like you took L's in both. But
yeah. The court of public opinion means nothing. I mean, there's a reason it means nothing. It's because, and as Fessington had just pointed out, like he's in the court of public opinion right now on this stream. He could say anything in his defense. If he has evidence proving it, put it out there, plaster it all over the place so that everyone sees it and everyone knows it. But at the end of the day, none of that matters. If he goes into a courtroom before a judge, he has to bring actual receipts.
Johnson Larry has been talking some weird things in the chat here.
Free Chile de Castro.
Where did the Constitution hurt you? I'm going to call you Larry Johnson because it's weird that it's the other way. But where did the Constitution hurt you? Why are you so mad at the Constitution and the law?
Well, I was about to tell him free Chile de Castro. That price is too steep even for me.
At $25K, man. Apparently, if he gets $25K, he can walk out this month. But
I just find it funny that he says, "Oh yeah, the top attorney." It's like, no, the top attorney, $25K is probably the starting rate for a consultation with the top attorneys. All right, like let's not kid ourselves. $25K is not going to buy him a whole case with the best lawyer.
Oh.
It'll get him a case with a standard lawyer.
I wanted to bring this up too. He only got half the max sentence.
Yeah.
And everybody's talking about, oh, they overcharged him. They overcharged him. He shouldn't be doing that much time. It's like, that's totally within the sentencing guidelines.
Yeah.
Like most people would think, oh, you got half what you could have. That year, you got off pretty easy.
Yeah, a lot of misdemeanors will give you up to a year in jail. So,
well, I want to say
the could have been in prison for 2 years.
The one that Broken System, Broken Trust is looking at, I think it's up to a year, up to no more than 2 years, I want to say, or a fine of up to $1,000. And he's facing 3 of those charges.
Yeah.
And it's like, by all means, please put Broken System, Broken Trust in jail for 3 years. That would be just the greatest thing in the world.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, let's listen to. Oh, actually,
Oh.
Ray gifted 5 memberships. Dear Lord.
Oh, thank you, Ray. Well,
all right.
Well, it's for you, but still, very nice of her to do.
Just ask Deborah the DUI reservation.
I know.
At what point do you look at his track record and go, "Yeah, Chile's so helpful"?
I love that the guy said, "Oh, he's done so much for other people." It's like, what has he done? Like, who has he successfully helped? Like whose case did he get thrown out? Like, how many people did he help that were not convicted? Like, none. He has not been. He was unsuccessful with every defendant he ever worked with, including himself. Yeah. Like, that was his first time in a courtroom for real, like where he was allowed to actually say something, because he can't do that when he's assisting some idiot, and he crashed and burned.
All right, Navy Techs, what's up? Let's jump back into this video, because there's one point that I want to get to for this, and then I'm probably going to turn it off as quickly as humanly possible. But it's when he starts legitimately crying and blaming everyone else. Well, more than he currently is.
Oh, well, I'll get the popcorn.
Yeah.
We're going to give you a month and a day. I believe it was September on the record.
For the record, let the record show.
September. So
the violation date was 8/22/98.
They're saying August 22nd of 98 is the allegation, and August 22nd of 1998. That's the Hardin County. That's the one that wasn't me. Okay? We all got that under control? Now, in 1999, April of 1999, matter of fact, April 3rd, and it also says April 4th, and it also says April 5th of 1999. So April 3rd, 4th, and 5th. It's like they can't get their record straight, and this one really was me, okay? Either they're saying, according to the records in Meade County, totally different county, that the incident occurred either April 3rd, or some of the records say it occurred April 4th, and then some of the other records say it occurred April 5th. I'm not shitting you guys, but
Paul of Scotland for $4.99, I'm assuming, of the British pounds. For a law scholar, oh god, it went away. For a law scholar, Chile isn't really good. No joke.
Yeah.
Still have belly aches from laughing so hard. Hi, KFARR, hi Tones, hi Ray. Oh hey. In 98, shocker. Computers weren't really like a thing necessarily in policing. It was all paperwork. Also, if let's say I charged you with something, but I'm still writing my report on the 4th, I'm going to date it to the 4th. It still has to do with the 3rd case, but I'm not writing it on the 4th, or I'm not writing it on the 5th. Or, hey, this document, we had a sergeant that was in charge of the evidence room. Maybe he didn't work all week and was clearing out stuff on the 5th and had to write his report about what evidence was there.
Yeah.
Navy Techs, what you giggling about?
Well, a lot, actually, a ton of things. Back in, when was it? Like 2006 or whatever, I was at Bowling Air Force Base attending a training, right? And I was working with some FBI guys, and they hadn't even upgraded to Windows or any Windows product.
Yeah.
They were C-prompting it the entire time. So yeah, it wasn't even 98 that was the issue. It was up to 2006.
I know. I would trust law enforcement with Windows. I mean, every time they come across a traveler, they end up breaking them.
True.
Johnson Larry says, I didn't know who these people were. If not for Chile de Castro, I wouldn't even know you existed. Well, I'm glad that Chile, through his criminal behavior, put us in contact. So now you can actually learn something that's actually legally and factually correct.
Yeah, just like how Chris apparently is learning that he has more than 4 fingers.
Yeah, he's doing the math.
Yeah,
because he doesn't
conspiracy
understand like
theories-
normal shit.
So here's my question for Chris, right? He literally, because I watch his lives. Whenever he goes live, I watch it, right? Because I love listening to him mumble and fumble over everything. Bro, you speak about the same shit in every single live. How do you not have these dates memorized by now?
Yeah.
Well, like I told Tones and Weapons earlier, I had a conversation like, KFARR, it's because you're a good person and this doesn't happen. Like I said, this is like a Tuesday for Chris. Like in and out of jail, like it's just a Tuesday. Like when I was in the military, I knew the day I started, I knew the day I was getting out, and I knew exactly how many days I had left, starting from like day 370. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get out on this day, blah blah. Chris is just like, yeah, I went to jail. It's a really big deal because it could head me up, but I don't know. It's like good one.
I just think
Chris.
it's funny that he's changing the conspiracy theory to them messing up paperwork, because he 100% said in previous lives that he thinks that his ex-girlfriend got a hold of one of his driver's licenses and someone she knew used it, and that's how this whole thing came to be. He literally said that in a live stream.
Yeah, I think I remember that one. Which, first of all, like probably didn't happen. But second, if somebody went out and committed a crime and gave somebody else's ID to frame somebody, you know that the very moment that ID is confirmed to be fake, the person who did that would be in a shitload of trouble.
I'll raise you one.
Who is going to risk doing that?
I'll raise you one. I'll legitimately raise you one. It's 1998. They can't exactly like run your shit through a computer real quick. So they're going to write you a ticket, have you do whatever, blah, blah, blah. If I gave someone a fake ID, I'm not coming to court for that. I'm not paying fines for that. I'm not going to probation for that because that other person is going to get fucked. I think Chile actually did something like that. I want to say he used somebody else's license and that person got hemmed up for it. Like years and years and years and years in the past. But it's like, yeah, if Chris was on the hook and had this ID, why would the other person keep coming in going, man, I hope they don't tack on this charge once they find out.
And paying just fees. It's like someone hacking my energy bill and paying my bill for me. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and if it was his girlfriend or ex-girlfriend giving someone else the ID, they're not going to do you a solid. Like, you know, if one of your boys used your ID and got you hemmed up, sure, they may try to take care of it for you. But if they didn't like you, they're sure as shit going to leave you out to dry and wait for you to get a warrant.
Yeah,
I'm sorry that I stole his girlfriend and I was banging her behind his back, so I'm going to make it up to him by doing a crime and paying the bills.
Yeah. Like, and again, if you have an IQ above room temperature, you would see this and go, that doesn't make sense. But Chris is just like, here, guys, eat this. This is what I'm telling you. I'll feed you, baby bird. And his audience is, well, I'm not going to say eating it up because it looks like his climb with subscribers and views kind of
plateaued.
Johnson Larry, I can count on how many fingers I've covered Chile. I think this is time number 3 that I've covered Chile. So
and here's the thing, like everyone says that like it's a bad thing, but there's nothing wrong with coming on YouTube and laughing at the dumbest stock of people.
Well, this is my whole thing. You can't create your own content. My guy, I'm not going to compare myself to the news, even though, you know, like, hey, but it's just like, so is the news not creating their own content when they literally, they don't even like edit anything necessarily. They don't give commentary. They literally, hey dude, can I use your video on this, 11 o'clock news? Sure. They'll shoot 30 seconds of it and go, all right, on to the next, news story.
Yeah.
But I don't think people are running on to, CNN, Fox News, name your favorite news outlet and going, you guys can't create content. And imagine that was written in capital, lowercase, capital, lowercase. You know what I'm talking about.
Or imagine this. Imagine CNN does a story on somebody. Say, I don't know, Chris Ryder getting arrested for doing dumb stuff. And he comes to CNN and says, well, that's my content. They're like, no, it's not.
Well, not to toot my own horn, but no one could ever accuse me of not being able to create content as I drive my space RV around from my space station with my talking robot Fez.
Yeah.
Well, because everyone knows Fez does all the work.
Yeah. There's a reason he sounds like a butler.
I'm just so. If we're going to throw this back to CNN, I'm only using CNN because CNN. Now, if CNN had a thing of, hey, this guy got arrested, he's claiming an imposter was the person behind it. No, that story's going to blow up. They're going to be like, oh, this is the greatest story ever. Let's play this. But this guy's, you can't create your own content. Okay.
And here's the thing. The thing is that it wouldn't be content if every one of the frauditors didn't make themselves the crux of the story.
Exactly. They are the story. We're just doing secondary coverage. They got the exclusive.
To Larry Johnson and whoever's out there talking like this, are you telling me the only way to make your own content is to go out and get yourself arrested for bugging hardworking people in the popo?
Somebody gave me shit because they're like, they along the same lines. Oh, you don't create your own content. And I'm sitting here telling them, so you want me to go out and record myself breaking the law? And I'm just like, maybe I'm just a little too smart for that. Sorry. If you type Chile de Castro, you appear by magic. Thanks to Chile, all of you trollers have some content. So if you actually type broken system, broken trust into the search bar, I'm pretty sure a Tones video pops up nearly first. A couple of my videos pop up. It goes by what's popular. If a person recovering that is, publicly relevant, I guess, the public actually cares about it enough, they will watch the video. Again, Chile has 535,000 subscribers and is pulling like 8,000 viewers. If I do a video that gets more than that, my video, if it's labeled correctly, will show up before Chile's. That's just how it works.
I have two things right fast, and I'll be done because I like to talk, obviously. One, I have a question for Tones. Tones, do you think that if Josh gets elected, that he's going to shush people in an active meeting?
Well, that's the thing. I don't know if that's exactly within his power to do so. I have to research what he's running for. It says he's running for the select board. If anybody in the chat can explain to me what the select board does, like I thought maybe it's like, is this like another word for city council? Like, is he trying to be on the city council? I mean, in any case, like if he is, the moment he does anything in retaliation against someone, or even raises a single objection against someone speaking ill of him, it's like he's immediately going to be a hypocrite.
I'll raise you one. What if he comes in and one of these frauders comes in and be like, I caught you with your pants down. You're a kitty toucher. You're a kitty toucher. I wonder what he's going to do. And then Tones is going to send him the video of that old man that he did that to. And it's going to be like, karma's a bitch, ain't it?
Oh, yeah.
Select board equals city council. Okay.
And my second thing is that.
So he is running for city council.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Now, I was going to say, if all you frauditors and frauditor liquors are out there are so big on the First Amendment, and you have YouTube channels that are really offering a counter to the absolute bullshit that your Lord and Savior's putting out, wouldn't you be okay with that? Like, wouldn't you want these channels to exist? Because according to you, it's all about the First Amendment. So, voila.
Oh, brace yourselves for this one. This has become my most favorite thing to tell people, especially the people, sycophants of Amagansett Press who show up on my short of him, saying how he's just trying to make a living and yet apparently not an activist. But, they always keep saying, oh, he's really great. Oh, he's really great. Or you're terrible, blah, blah, blah. It's like, I'm thinking to myself, okay, him, big channel, way more subscribers than I do, makes more videos than I do. If you guys are so sure he's right, certainly some some fob like me who just makes one little short is not going to threaten that, is not going to bring him down. Right. But the fact that you're all showing up and having to justify him, to me, tells me that you have doubts, that you're worried that I can somehow discredit him.
And by the way, for all the Chile fans out there, your boy's in jail right now becoming the Brown Power Ranger. Just wanted to let you know.
Yeah.
That's gross. No, so Paul of Scotland, this is actually something that goes directly contrary to something that Chris has actually claimed in the past. He was trying to make the point that if we use his content and use it in a transform style, if you will, you're taking viewers from his channel. And it's like, my guy, we are not in the same realm of content. My content runs directly contrary to your content. So my subscribers are not, running over to Chris's page to watch all of his shit intently. Like, you may go over there to be like, hey, you're a dipshit. But that's about it. Like, most people, not to like say anything about me, tones, blah, 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 but it's like most people can only watch it if we do something on it, because they're not willing to travel over to his page and sit through him trying to count to 3. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. And I should also point out that when we cover a frauditor doing something stupid, like, people don't just watch our, like the one person's video. Like, when Chile got convicted, I'm sure everyone saw at least 5 different content creators take on it. So if people are willing to watch the same video multiple times from multiple content creators, then surely there's enough views to go around between us and him, even if we speak about it in different light. Oh, muted.
I would never. Well, David E. Parsons had to put on there. Don't say. Yeah. Okay. You almost got me. Oh God, it keeps scrolling away. Walter, I'm trying to read your comment. 1000%. I would never watch an unedited Frauditor video. Nor should you have to.
Yeah.
Nor should you have to.
Take my advice.
Yeah.
I've done it before. It is
crazy.
boring. God.
Yeah. An unedited Frauditor video is like radiation. You really don't want to have it in front of you for a very long period of time. You'd be better off with smaller doses and probably with a lot of lead.
And it'll slowly kill you.
Yeah, I think, Tones, you probably run into the same problem as me. I will sit down here in the middle of the night and just have, Chris playing in my ear for hours to try to make a video.
God,
or Broken
poor
System,
brain
Broken
cells.
Trust, just for hours. To the point where it's like, if I wasn't like covering the video, I wouldn't go over there and be like, yes, feed me. I would love to listen to you talk this guy talked for 42 minutes about nothing.
Well, I'll say I had to stop watching Josh Abrams' videos because it would literally give me chest pains to listen to, the just horrible stuff he says to people. And it's like I'm thinking like, dude, I don't claim to not be a keyboard warrior. I mean, I don't know what I would do, if I were face to face with one of these people. But given how much they piss me off, it's like I'm fairly certain Josh would be someone I would not hesitate to take a swing at. I know it's weird for me to admit that. I'm sorry, KFARR. I hope I don't get you in trouble for that. But it's the truth.
No, you're fine.
Well, my question is, what's that chubby bunny gonna do?
Well, that's true.
Well, he's gonna hit him with his moo tits. That's what he's gonna do.
I mean, it's not like he could beat me up. I'm not a woman, so.
Oh. How is that such
Shots
a
fired.
Allegedly. Sorry, let me correct that. Allegedly a woman. Allegedly beat me up.
It's like I can. So, who has said they wanted to fight me? Broken System, Broken Trust has said that. Rogue Nation has said that. What is his name? Cody High Roller said that. Oh God, I want to say that Mr. Diddy guy may have insinuated something along those lines. But then when you say, yeah, sure, like, can we live stream it? I bet that people would love that. They kind of disappear on you, and you just hear crickets. It's like,
well, let's be honest. What would a fight with Josh be like? I mean with a Broken System, Broken Trust. I mean, it's not like he can knock his teeth out.
Well, I would pick him up. I would pick him up extremely high, and then just let him go. It would be like a roller coaster.
The only thing BSBT could win is a meth marathon.
Let's see here. Did he comment back? You're the reason 3. What is Johnson Larry? What are you talking about? Unless you're talking about that knee pressure, zip it. All right, let's listen to this guy count to 3.
Right.
The 1999 in Meade County, it was me. That's no lie. That's not wrong. That wasn't. Now, I don't know why the records aren't clear. That's a big question for Meade County. But let's just say April 4th, 1999. Because that one could be it. It's right in the middle of what they're saying. That occurred, okay? And then it's saying on these records, on the paper, that on April 7th, which is 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 3 days later, that a bond was posted. It doesn't say bond. It just says that there was $1,000 bond posted. I have a video that so did Dummy Kruger, but he didn't want you to see it. So does Scarborough, but he don't want you to see it. And so does Kaiser, and he don't want you to see it.
Kaiser, stolen valor, stream snipe, and fuck you.
Stolen Valor Kaiser, the murderer, who's got 5 current open charges where he's facing court for soon, where a jury indicted him. So, on 3 days later, right? I don't like getting off track. So let's say the arrest was April 4th, and then they're saying April 7th that $1,000 bond was paid. Well, the video that Kaiser doesn't want you to see, the video that JJ doesn't want you to see, and the video that Dummy Kruger didn't want you to see, I have. It's on April 7th, and I'm in the courtroom, and I was put in the jail. Not released, put in. Maybe back in, or maybe I never got out. Because if the bond was posted at the same time as I went to court, maybe I never got out. I've got that video, and I can prove it to you guys.
So did you get out or not? It seems like even he's confused.
I know. I was saying maybe I never got out. Maybe Chris, maybe you're still there. This is all an illusion.
This is all a dream.
You never left your cell.
Remember, this is the same dude. This is the same dude who literally said on a live stream multiple times and argued with his own chat that a grand jury can find somebody guilty. Okay.
Isn't that? That's not how that works.
Yeah.
No,
not
it's
at
not
all.
how that works. It's not how that works at all. And they tried to tell his own. I was in there. I was in the live chat watching this happen, and his own chat was like, "Chris, that's not how this works. They don't find anybody guilty." And he goes, "They give the prosecution. The prosecution comes and says, do I have enough evidence to proceed with an indictment?"
Yeah, the grand jury looks at a case and goes, "Yeah, it looks at the evidence and goes, yeah, seems right." But that's it. It's not like
guilty. That
No.
doesn't. Oh.
But I think
He
it's
repeated that multiple
quite
times,
comical.
and he says, "Well, I know more than you about what I'm talking about." Bubba, you can read this on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
This is my thing about this. He claims to be so smart, but like I said, it seems like even he's confused about what happened. Maybe I was going in. Maybe I never got out. And it's like, okay, well, what happened? You were there, right? Like, did you get out? Did somebody else post your bond? Did you post your bond?
I get it. This is Chris's. Actually, what we're looking at now is Chris's evil twin, Steve.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Well, no, I'm wondering, his voice is out of sync. So he's going to claim later, like, I never said any of that. Somebody dubbed over me. You know? Like, seriously.
Yeah, with AI, he's going to claim AI. He's going to be like, they use AI to fucking dub it over.
I mean, I can't say anything. I literally just showed a clip of somebody that sounded exactly like Broken System, Broken Trust talking to Chile in jail. So, but no, yeah, DK showed the video. That's my thing is, so far, the only thing that, like, I know I personally showed his court case and kind of called out the things that I saw that didn't match up with things he said before or things like that. And then Dummy Kruger did a masterpiece on it. And it's like, Chris, we're not looking at any other videos except for the videos that you've already put out. If you have said XYZ and, then you claim ABC in another video, we're going to be like, your story doesn't match up there, bud. But he just happened to do it on the stand in court. It's like, it's probably not the place you want to start messing up and lying.
Oh, damn it. I just realized that, I said like, oh, maybe you're still there, Chris. Maybe you never left your cell. I missed a golden opportunity. Maybe, Chris, you never left the elevator. Once you got in there, you've been going down, and you've been going down ever since. I don't know.
It's the latest episode of the Dumbass Zone.
Yeah. Well, I love how people call him dumb waiter too. It's like, God, I wish I could have come up with that, but no, somebody beat me to it.
So he's saying Wrangler hacked his account and stole his GoFundMe money?
Yes. Well, no, he didn't steal the money. What he did was, according to Chris, because I remember watching this live too, is that somehow Wrangler was able to, and I would attest, because I'm obviously not a fan of Wrangler, that he is not smart enough to do this. And so that he somehow created an email or hacked Chris's email and then used it and created a new email that connected to the GoFundMe that got the GoFundMe shut down. He didn't steal any money. He just got it shut down. Him and Frauditor Watch, I think it was, is who he blames for all this.
No, I'm sure he blames chemtrails for his erectile dysfunction too. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm sorry to break this to him, but like, so I always try to take the easiest explanation, because normally the easiest explanation is normally
It's called Occam's
correct.
razor. It's called
Yeah,
Occam's
it's like,
razor.
Chris, more than likely 10 people, 20 people probably reported your GoFundMe as, if he was raising it for a criminal defense, I'm pretty sure that goes against GoFundMe's terms of service for the old Kyle Rittenhouse thing.
Oh.
So if somebody reported it for you doing XYZ and then GoFundMe went, oh shit, that is our terms of service. All right, gotta delete it.
By that logic, wouldn't Chile's GoFundMe to pay for a lawyer? Wouldn't that be a violation of their terms of service?
Possibly. Well, this is the way I look at it. GoFundMe only put the terms of conspiracy time. All these places have terms of service that they may or may not enforce until enough people get lippy about it and we're like, hey, you know what I'm saying? So maybe just people haven't reported his account enough, or I think it had like $2,000 out of 10 or something like that, or $200 out of 10 grand. So I don't think it's exactly high on their list of priorities to report and or delete.
Okay. So
not a violent crime. Okay.
Yeah. So Chile's GoFundMe account may not get taken, or GoFundMe may not get taken down unless a considerable number of people, say a couple hundred or so, were to suddenly go over there and report it. I mean, I don't know where you're going to find 200 or so people that are going to, open up GoFundMe, look up Chile's thing, and then report it for being a TOS violation. I mean, I don't know. Not sure where you'll find anyone willing to go do that.
Okay. Frauditor Watch is saying that he did a video on deleting his GoFundMe, had about 40% of the viewers just report his account and it got taken down. That doesn't sound like hacking to me, but
yeah,
I'm not Sherlock Holmes Chris, basically. Oh God. All right. Let's keep struggling through this. Chile's is at 16K now. That's going to get Chile a nice vacation in 175 days.
My God.
He's going to go full Long Island audit. He's going to be like, oh, I got out, but magically have money to go to Hawaii. Thanks.
No, he probably uses $25,000 to pay the prison gangs not to have their way with him.
I don't know if he'll do that. It might be paying them to have their way with him. But we don't kink shame here. We don't kink shame.
For sure, without any doubt, that I wasn't getting out anytime soon after what happened in that courtroom. Hey, Kaiser, since you're stream sniping, why don't you play that video on your channel? Be the first thing you've ever published first. Oh, I know why. Because you know that I was telling the truth about being in jail. Now,
not to defend anybody, but didn't Chris just say he's the only one who has this video?
Yeah.
So how is anybody else going to break the video if he's the only one who has it?
Well, he was claiming right before this, or right before that both Dummy Kruger and Wrangler have it, right? And the thing is, my question to Chris is that if you had this video that exonerates you, right? Why haven't you put it up on your channel?
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier.
Well, not even that. If you had a video that basically shows, yes, that was not me, couldn't have been me, I was here, you wouldn't have brought that to court when you went months ago. That'd have been the first thing I brought. I'd have brought my own fucking TV and be like, Judge, look what I got. And then they'd have been like, all right, Chris, have a good day, man. Like, I guess that wasn't you. But instead, he's, 6 months, however many months later, going, yeah, there might be a video. And it's only going to take me 3 minutes, but I'm not going to show it.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Okay, yeah, okay. So apparently they're cool with you raising funds as long as it's arrests involving violence. They're not cool with those ones.
Non-violent crimes, yeah.
Yeah,
it can't be a murder or a grieving, yeah.
The fact that you just self-censored for that was absolutely terrific.
Well,
You
it's for
said
your
it, and I'm
channel,
just like,
brother.
yeah, you said it, and I'm just like, man, that sounds a lot like what it, and then I'm like, he just like, that was terrific. Thank you. Well, Johnson Larry, the government will always have the power to put frauditors. You said frauditors, your words, not mine, in jail thanks to the 99% of bootlickers and
Okay.
1% frauditors.
Can I address that, Johnson Larry? There's a word for that. Let me see. What is it called? Oh yeah, society. Like if the majority of us all have a sense of right and wrong, then that's what goes. If you don't like it, go find a nation where the majority of its citizenry is more in tune with your values. Good
Well,
luck.
I'll raise you one, Tones. I'll raise you one. If the law says, hey, this is the law, and this constitutional amendment makes that law okay, is the Constitution wrong, or is the person that you're, shilling for here, maybe they're just wrong? And not just them, but if they keep getting convicted for the same shit, maybe your side is just really, really dumb.
So I'll raise you one more because he knows what we do here. I just found out that it is apparently legal in my state of Texas that you can send non-solicited nude pics to minors, and it's not against the law like it is in California. Now, me finding that out, I am disgusted and I'm incredibly irritated in my state, and I will go to my legislature, like you do, and be like, we need to put a law on the books right now.
That's who did that? Who sent a story like that? Oh, Jeremiah Payne. Tones, I think you remember what this was about. When Jeremiah was, there's a report of him sending inappropriate pictures with him snuggling some sort of pillow or passed out with some sort of pillow. I think if you catch my drift. And he was sending that to a phone of someone who, according to Jeremiah, was a grown-ass woman's phone, but they gave it to like their child. So the child was getting all the pictures.
Idiot.
And it's just like, Jeremiah, you're a fucking idiot. All right. Have you heard of the laws about common sense and morals, since laws are derived from morals and common sense?
Yeah.
I think some laws are based off morals and common sense. I'll get with some. Most.
Here's what I like to tell people. Do you think that the average law-abiding citizen doesn't unalive or steal from someone just because it's written down somewhere? No, they don't do it because they feel, I know, feelings, right? Who'd have thought that it's wrong to do that? That's why. I mean, even before there were laws, like before there was a Magna Carta, before there was Hammurabi's Code, there was just, hey, I don't think it's nice for me to, bludgeon my neighbor with a rock. It's like there were people who were like that. Even as cavemen, there was a sense of, loyalty to one another and respect for your fellow man. You didn't need a law book to tell you not to be an asshole. And people think that, like, oh, well, we're here about laws, not about feelings. Feelings are the foundation of laws. Morals are the foundations of laws. I mean, for the longest time, enslaving another human being for labor was not illegal. But then when enough people said, you know what, morally this is wrong, then a law was created, and thus it was abolished. That same thing happened when we decided, hey, women should be allowed to vote. Oh, children below a certain age shouldn't be hired for labor. All kinds of stuff. Like, society changes. They realize something is wrong, and then they bring that idea to their elected officials that they chose to make it law.
Firefighter 936 oh god, it moved up. KY Reacts GoFundMe's were deleted when they're, oh god. Good. I'm glad. I haven't covered KY Reacts, but apparently he was on a stream, and him and Georgia Transparency decided to bring me up for whatever reason. But yeah, KY Reacts rubs me the wrong way.
Well, that's kind of odd. He's KY. You'd think he'd be a little more slick.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I can't deal with you right now. I can't.
Loosen the friction.
Yeah. All right.
I guess
let's listen to Chris. Yeah, Chile needs some KY reacts right now.
We have not necessarily proven that I was
Kentucky jelly.
how long for sure that I was in jail. But there's another video which I have that you guys have seen that's on the 14th. So if the actual incident occurred on the 3rd or even the 4th, let's just say the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th. It's 10 days. And maybe 11. Depends on which one of the 3 police reports of the same report were right on the date. Right? Am I right? There are 3 different police reports. There are 3 of the same police report, exactly the same, but all 3 of them have a different date. One says 4-3, one says 4-4, one says 4-5 for the incident.
I'm still working on that.
Anyway, we're not going to get too far into details because this case may end up in a lawsuit.
Of course it will.
Because we just now found out about it. It's not
can you
past
pause for
the
a
statute
second?
of limitations. I don't know if
Absolutely.
we can handle it.
Absolutely.
Okay, Emerson Biggins, just to let you know. Oh, yeah, you're right. The Bible does speak of that. But the thing is, even though it's written down in a book somewhere, we, as people, the majority of us, know it to be wrong to enslave someone. And
Oh, it's not like that. That was different.
It's
Though.
not,
That
it's
was
not the end all be all.
that was the aspect of the Bible. Understand, like, man, people have gone over this, and it is not the same thing as what happened 300 years ago. And so it's and that's one thing fraudsters don't understand is that you can't associate certain things that happened in the past with what happened that happening now, right?
Yeah.
It's not the same shit, and that's where they get caught up on. Even their own Black's Law Dictionary disagrees with it.
Good old second edition from 1910.
Well, you know what question I've always wanted, and this is why I regret that Sean Paul Reyes chickened out of getting into doing a debate with me. I wanted to ask him, like, because the first camera ever was invented, I think just on like within 50 years after the United States was founded. So how did freedom of the press in America survive when cameras weren't invented yet? And just the idea would be, it's like, it's not a camera is not the central, crux of journalism. Like, people were able to own printing presses and were able to disseminate information without fear of reprisal from the government. The camera just made that a little easier so people didn't have to read. That's it. So you don't need a camera to exercise journalism or free speech.
I'm gonna bring this up real quick, and I'm hoping this person gives me a little bit more information about this. I'm assuming Talking Travis is about Travis Hines. Hines GFM, unsure what that means in this context, is under investigation and suspended. Fraud suspected. Oh, GoFundMe. Duh. We were just talking about GoFundMe. That would be hilarious because if you guys didn't know, I don't like Travis Hines. I don't like any of the people that keep coming over. Oh, he's innocent. He's innocent. If you guys aren't familiar with what's going on, from what they're telling me is he signed the deferment plea bargain agreement, whatever terminology you want to use. And you know what that means. It's basically do this for, don't break any laws here for 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, 24 months, yada, yada. And we won't prosecute you for this crime. And they're like, it's a win. Travis is 7-0. It's a win. And I'm like,
yeah.
If it was a win, they would have got it dismissed, not, hey, don't continue to commit crime here and we won't charge you with this.
Yeah.
That's
and Emerson Biggins, yeah, you're right. Exactly. It's like human morality is more important. I mean, we're here and now. I mean, we're the ones who decide what's morally right here in the world, in the world, I mean, whatever goes with your soul, that's between you and whatever God you believe in when you get there.
Pre-trial diversion is such a blessing. I tried to tell them. They're like, it's not a plea. I'm like, if you agree to terms with the prosecution to do a thing, it's a plea. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean,
let's see.
I hate to compare this, but if you agree, say, in war, you agree to terms of surrender, which means you have capitulated to the opposing party. and thus you must satisfy requirements in order to, well, pretty much not be further punished.
Yes.
Johnson Larry says Trollers Daddies, James Freeman, Johnny 5-0, Long Island Audit. From what I've seen of Long Island Audit, the state and cities keep handing him L's, and he's just holding all of them.
Yeah.
Nothing beats a grown man saying, I'm going to file a lawsuit. And then like 30 lawsuits later, you're just like, oh, you won like one.
Has he even ever won one?
No.
Okay, so talking Travis. No plea for Travis. Got to say he negotiated a great deal. 6 months, no crime in a county he doesn't care about. Yeah, 1,000%. I think he signed that knowing full well as soon as this is over, as soon as they go, okay, this is in, we'll file this. Don't break any laws for 6 months. He's going to take his home on wheels and, nope, right the fuck out.
Yeah. That's the other thing too. Like, you ever notice that the Frauditor is like, I have to wonder, did Josh Abrams, I hate to go back to him, but has he ever done a video in Townsend? I don't think, because I think the last place he would do a frauded is where he lives.
Shit where you eat.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, and that's, the thing is that they get all mad at the system and all this kind of stuff. If you watch Chile's final day, right, when they had the actual the result and sentencing and all this kind of stuff, the prosecutor asked for a very minimum sentence suspended, and the judge was like, "No, he's a dick."
Yeah. Well, no, actually, what happened was that was a sweet deal, and then his attorney said, "Well, can we just not do any of that and just declare time served?" It's like, what time? He wasn't in jail, or he didn't spend the night in jail anywhere, at least not to my knowledge. He was out by the end of the day when he got arrested, and he's been roaming freely the whole time. What time has he served? But the point is, like, they wanted to give him nothing, and he says, well, he didn't intend to cause trouble. It's like the judge is like, bullshit.
I've seen the one thing I love is that the judge is like, I've seen his channel. I know what he does. He does this for clicks and views. Which, amen, right? Amen. Finally, a judge is like sitting there and speaking the truth out there, and based on the way he treated, because he was dumb enough to talk shit to her fucking bailiffs.
Yeah,
in front of her even.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, that's not the smartest thing. So I have a few things to talk about because there's a lot here. So Rodney King says, Chris is lying about the dates. The incident was on 4/3. It was reported 4/4. He was arrested 4/5 and bonded out 4/6 and then had court 4/7, which, knowing the timeline that I, know, that makes sense to me. That adds up.
And he forgot.
Pig Trader, the guy who threatened to sue me because he lied, and then I had the audacity to call him a liar. Weird. Do I look like a bearded, feathered animal? No. Then calling me a birded, feathered animal, or a bird that happens to be a feathered animal with a beak, is a lie. But apparently that guy is the one who commented saying his GoFundMe was frozen. Beamstock. Yes. So this is my thinking on the deferment agreement. Is just the county telling him to get the fuck out. Yes. They're thinking if we charged him and put him on probation, he would have to stick around. If we made this deal with him and just said, don't do anything for 6 months, he's going to leave and never come back.
Yeah.
Solid.
That's basically the modern equivalent of running somebody out of troublemaker out of town.
Yeah. Long Island Audit got the ban on filming in NYPD precincts lifted. Yes and no. From the paperwork that I read, the state said yes, but then they were moving it, or the city said yes, but then they were moving it to the next court, which I believe froze that ruling.
I'm just going to say it's also New York. So, I mean, you see what's happening in New York.
Anything is possible.
Yeah.
Well, hey, apparently anything's possible in Texas, turns out.
Yeah.
No, there's certain things that ain't possible in Texas. And that's the reason why my governor is fighting the administration right now.
And Travis raised over $3,000 on GoFundMe during the charge. That's probably where the fraud comes in. That would be terrific. Okay, let's see here. Okay. Man, I missed a lot while stopping. Free Chile de Castro. You basically, oh God. Johnson, Larry, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? It's basically, I think we've all seen those shirts. We've all seen those shirts that were like free Dookie, and it's got a picture of Dookie on there. Their boy, but then like you look into it and it's like, oh no, Dookie allegedly unalived 5 people and they were all kids, and it's like, no, Dookie can stay in prison. Like Dookie's
you
where
can
he's
keep
supposed to
him.
be. That's in my head. That's what they're doing. Free Chile, and it's like, nah, Chile can stay. That's the best place for everyone. Chile in jail and society being free.
Well, and
Yeah,
the thing is, and to be serious for a second, the thing that Chile admitted to is that it's an aspect when Chris says, or others say, well, I'm good with like good cops and I don't like the bad cops. All right, everyone has that opinion, right? There's nobody out there that's going to sit there and say, I'm 100% back to blue, right? It doesn't exist for normal common sense folk, right?
Yeah.
But when Chile was in there and the judge says he hates all police and he gave the thumbs up, that means that you're following a guy who is not following things of the First Amendment. He is literally out there because he hates the cops, and it doesn't matter if you're a good cop or a bad cop. He doesn't care. So everything he does is biased, 100% biased because he hates Popo.
Which one is Flex Your Freedom? Is that the
grandma?
Is that the grandma? Oh, okay, nah,
Yeah.
grandma can stay in jail too. Grandma
Yeah.
can stay right in jail. Isn't that the one who tried starting like a militia because he kept being proven wrong, and they're like, yeah, let's start a militia.
That the guy that was a former Marine or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, if he really was, then I'm sorry to hear that experience screwed his brain up, but
yeah. So
hey, just because you're a vet, even if you're a combat vet, like a Georgia Transparency, doesn't make you a good person on the outside.
Yeah,
I tell people that all the time. Just because you have a veteran status and left the military under honorable conditions does not then mean you are a good person.
No.
No, so Chile got locked up last week. Apparently Flex Your Freedoms got locked up last week.
Craig got locked
2
up.
Michigan sovereignty.
Yeah, Craig got locked up.
Craig did. Somebody, I forgot to bring it up. Texas Sheepdog, Jack Miller, he's got locked up. 2 sovereign citizens from Michigan are on the run from warrants. Oh, and again, keep him in jail. Don't free Dookie. Dookie can stay in jail.
I was so glad to hear Texas Sheepdog was getting locked up on, and especially on the charges getting locked up on, because I always knew ever since he showed up at the Uvalde City Council meeting, like I've been waiting for karma to catch up to him, because like this was a guy who got up in front of the city council, yelled and ran like a maniac with a pistol strapped to his hip in a town that just had a whole bunch of children murdered, and one a classmate, a kid who went to that school was literally 3 feet away from him and his dad had to take him out of the room because it was upsetting him.
Let's exchange IDs. The pig trader guy is now drafting legal briefs for Chile's attorney.
You know what? You know what I say? Let them all do it. Let them all have their fun, because they all don't realize that Chile. See, I don't want to make the claim that Nevada versus De Castro is like US v. Cordova, where literally the arguments that these guys have all had for years, when they in the court of a public opinion, they may work, but the moment you hit the court of law, they fall flat on their face. Like, so let them write this stuff. Don't waste any real competent lawyer's time, and let them bring their arguments and let them fall flat on their face.
It just, like I said, all of these people deserve each other. If you want others in your community to file legal briefs for your attorney, then don't get mad when your attorney comes to court and goes, I don't know. I just don't want him to go to jail. I don't know what to say, but here we are.
Yeah.
I got crap.
BSBT's lawyer that was there, like his standby lawyer, I mean, God bless that guy, because he was like, Judge, if you can just let me do this one time, because I have to, defend my client. All I'm going to do is I'm going to, put up an objection to the bench warrant. And the judge is like, no, you're good. Yeah, you're right. And he goes, good. I'm done.
Yeah, I'm out now. Thanks though. Flex Your Freedom claimed PTSD in his video, so I left a comment there. Oh God, in it. Well, because it's on screen. I'm over here trying to read it from the sidebar still. Don't put yourself in locations where you could be triggered. That's abusing yourself. Yeah, 1,000%.
And the funny thing is, frauditors like to tell people, well, if you're not comfortable with someone filming you, then don't be out in public. It's like, okay, so it's okay for these idiots to tell people, don't live your life if you can't handle what's out here. And only for someone to turn around and say, well, I have PTSD. And it's like, which I have nothing against people who do, but it's like, it's hard to tell people to who may have problems or be uncomfortable, Like it's ridiculous to tell them to to get over it and then claim you have something. It's like, well, then why don't you get over it?
The base argument is the platform argument, right? And I'm sorry, KFARR, go ahead. I know you want to keep playing the video.
Oh no, I see. Alan says the only free chili I want to hear about is from Wendy's, as long as BSBT didn't make it. Chili is teaching MMA in jail. I think Chili is teaching how to be Little Spoon in jail.
Wait, man-on-man action.
He teaches through action, not through words, right? And so it's more like use me as an example, not what I say.
This is something I want to talk about too. He said that it was Zoom court in Hardin County, but the website says otherwise. If you remember correctly, he also said one of his court dates in Meade was via Zoom, and it wasn't. Yeah. Oh, fuck. How did I forget this one? Furry Potato.
Yes.
Is also locked up. Like last week was just a terrible week for them. Thank you for the $2. Oh God, I keep forgetting these people. Like I didn't know.
Well,
I knew about
to be
Furry
fair,
Potato.
I forget them too.
There's so many locked up. It's hard to keep track.
Yeah, they're dropping like flies. The problem is new ones are taking their place every once in a while. But
I just want to point this out. Noah Ford is from Kick. So hey, we got somebody watching on Kick. 349 people on YouTube, one person on Kick. How you doing?
but no, Furry Potato to me was always a fascinating one. Now she, because I'm respectful in that regard, what decided I'm going to go fraud a synagogue in the wake of one getting shot up because, shock value, and then gets surprised, goes Pikachu face when she harasses the security guard enough that, that he fires, it hits the ground and a ricochet, hits her. And then when she's all like up in arms about that, in the end, that security guard never got any charges because everyone looked at the whole situation and realized, she fucked around and she found out.
I broke that down. I broke that down for a video because I didn't really know the extent of the case.
Fupa.
Noah Ford already blew it. FAPA goes to court on Wednesday, so this week's looking up. No, I covered the Furry Potato thing because everybody's like, oh yeah, Furry Potato they did it wrong, blah, blah, blah. And then I looked up the thing and I'm like, they didn't file any charges. Like, sorry.
Yeah.
Like they looked at the whole situation and realized, I think Furry Potato should just count her blessings that, that the guy didn't take aim or whatever. And
it was Odin was the one who was arguing with me.
Well, and I'll even say this. You'll notice that these auditors, right, they go to the cities, like especially in Texas, right, that are the bigger, more liberal cities. They don't come to small towns in Texas and fuck around because they find out real quick.
Oh yeah,
we don't play games.
Well, when they try, they end up getting run out of the whole state. Like, what was his name? PayPal Patty, wasn't he from Texas?
Yeah,
he was doing all that shit with them, and now he's in like California. They said, bye.
Yeah, because he was the acolyte of never getting out of prison.
Yeah. Well, it seems like all of them are still shilling for him too, which is hilarious to me.
Yeah, the crazy thing is, and I don't want to get too political on this, but I'm a moderate conservative, and and yet I live in California. Go figure, because we are way too soft on freaking frauditors here.
I'm sorry,
but you try screwing around in Texas or in Florida, that shit don't fly.
Not playing games.
But here in California, it's like everything. I think what is it? I think Riverside Accountability? One of them, like he was with the 8 guys who they got busted for pepper spraying somebody during a protest and other things. Yeah, that's the most we've gotten in California, and it took a lot to get that to happen.
What is FAPA's charges? Does anybody know off the top of their head?
While y'all are thinking about it, Ernie, FAPA is he's a young dude.
I lost track.
I don't remember where he's at, but he decided to go and harass like the police, the cops and the chief and stuff to get trespassed. And then he went in and he got arrested for trespassing in a post office too.
Tones, what information do you have on Jack Miller?
Oh, let's
regarding
see.
this comment.
It's a shame Jack Miller it was a dual post certified deputy detention. Yeah, okay. Now, here's the crazy part. I believe I tried to get information regarding him from the departments he supposedly worked for, and it was difficult getting it. I know I've got it somewhere, but it's I actually didn't get much details on that. It's almost like I asked for disciplinary records or whatever, and there was very little to work with. And there were times I almost want to tell them, Jack, you hate the cops so much, and yet when I tried to get information like you would on any other officer, the very departments that you used to work for, people that for some crazy reason have enough loyalty to not sell you out and give up everything. Now, unless you're what's his face, James Madison Audits. Oh no, they sold out his ass real fast. They gave me everything. They gave me all of his disciplinary shit. But yeah, with Texas Sheepdog, God, I mean, there was so much.
JC News Now also is in jail. They caught him.
Oh, nice. See, it looks like there's so many of these guys that have been busted.
And there's people like Johnson Larry who's coming in here and be like, well, they're all innocent. Why are they in jail? And it's like, maybe you should take the hint. I don't want to say I'm, KFARR Damas, but I called this shit in a B Squared video 2 years ago.
I told Angry Vet. I was on back when who was it? Tats had a channel, right? I was on Tats' channel talking to Angry Vet. Oh, God, I told him, you keep doing this shit, you will go to jail. Right? He's like,
whatever happened to his felonies? Whatever happened with all that for like wiretapping a few months ago?
Mole in the Hole says the Angry Vet is coming up in June.
Oh shit! It's because I'm stuck at the top and I keep forgetting to scroll down. No more than a Second Amendment guy, not a UPS. Jack Miller is the he's just an idiot. He was carrying I want to say he was arrested one time because he was carrying a rifle outside of some sort of government building. And it was basically, for lack of a better term, it looked like he was trying to intimidate the female workers that were coming out. So he got arrested. And then he claimed, oh, my shoulder. But no, he's the guy who also tried to fight somebody that may or may not have been a cop at the Alamo and decided it would be the greatest thing ever. I think we've all seen fights where dudes are like, all right, to prevent this, let me take my shirt off. He decided to take all of his clothes off besides his underwear and then was trying to fight someone with his Glen Serio gut just out.
That's crazy.
All right.
You know what? I'm going to, if nobody minds, I've got a Google Drive folder that literally has, I call them the Malignant 7. This has documentation on, let me just verify everybody's in here. I got Daniel Warmus, Austin Lewis.
Which one's
George,
Austin Lewis?
Good Citizen News or something.
Okay.
Or I don't know, whatever that guy is. There's so many good citizens, I lose track. George Metz, whoever he is. James Kane. Paul Estrada,
you don't know
aka Foulmouth veteran, Mark Dickinson, James Madison Audits, and Jack Miller, Texas Sheepdog. So let me see if I can share this folder.
And for those who don't know, George Metz is Rogue Nation.
Oh, they're aware. He was here the other day, and we were shitting on him. I played the video where it was Frauditor Troll and Frauditor Wrangler actually on stream together a while ago. And Frauditor Troll brought up the fact that George was trying to fight me in the chat, and he proceeded to shit on George, saying that I would drop him because like he's an old, frail man, and I'm not. And I'm like, thank you.
Do I have a way to drop this in the chat or?
Make him a mod, you can.
Can you?
I mean, I can just pull up YouTube and do it there. Because
Can you drop it in private chat, maybe?
Oh yeah, I could drop it in private chat.
I was gonna say I don't know if you can like screen share from your side.
So, I mean, you could test it, see if it works. But the reason I have this folder is because I never finished it. I don't know if I'll ever share it with anybody. It's several parts that were finished, but I was working on effectively a documentary on the frauditors going to Uvalde. Like I said, I call them Malignant 7. Yep, that's the one. Yeah, Malignant 7. They, and my whole thing was to explore each of their statements to the city council while also going through a lot of their history. And, when, one of my favorite digs, it wasn't really funny. I played it straight serious. One of my digs against James Madison Audits, how he was saying, oh, if I was a police officer, I would have I would have shown up and done that. It's like, really? Because considering most of your disciplinary actions was your inability to show up on time. Like he has so many tardy reports.
Well,
it's ridiculous.
A lot of auditors in jail. Good for you. More content for your audience. Yes. You're upset that criminals are in jail. Think about that for a second.
Right. Yeah.
You're upset that criminals, and in most cases, convicted violent criminals, are in jail, and you have a problem with that. Like, that kind of shows me where you're at. Let's see here. Sure, old home. How would you say? Well, George, what is George? George is 50 something. Somebody's gonna tell me. He's an old 45. Let's call it that. He's about 5'2". Yeah, he's like 5'2", 5'3", has the Glenn Serio build, starts heavy breathing after walking 3 feet or seeing Gary Snow. It's like, it's not something that would work out. And then George is like, well, I threw hands. That's how I got out of prison. And I'm just like, you're probably getting through prison the same way Chile is right now.
Yeah.
Bro, he didn't throw hands. He gave hand jobs.
That's what I'm saying. Like, being the prison bike does not count as throwing hands.
No. I mean,
why is that still up? Of all things, still up. The picture for the thumbnail of I'm drawing a blank. Here's the deal. Going like, it was still for some reason on my screen, and I just noticed.
I'll give George Metz, Rogue Nation, this. He pirouettes like an old ass ballerina.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I showed that video too. While he was here.
By the way, thank you for showing that, KFARR. I forgot how funny that video was, especially I had so much fun doing the breakdown of all of his.
He tried to save face. He tried to save face. He's like, this. I love this video. Like, George, if this happened to me, I would have deleted my channel.
Yeah.
Like,
but it's like,
no question.
Like the fact that it was so obvious that was on purpose, like all of his body movements. I mean, my particular favorite is that instead of dropping flat on the ground, he kneels and uses his left arm to hold the wall as he lowers himself. Yeah. And then he rolls over and has his camera facing perfectly straight at the door.
Yeah.
It's so cringe, but so hilarious.
I think Johnson Larry is currently having a stroke because he just keeps posting the same comment that I already addressed.
Well, no, Johnson Larry, it is good content because the content is to show everybody that you can't go up there and be, and number one, let's break down the Frauditor for an example for a second. There are people who have committed crimes in the past, are mad at the cops, and decided that they were going to now take their phones and go to places and irritate the police and irritate the people that work there, and do this in a criminal manner, right? A criminal trespassing manner in places they know they can't be. So yes, it is great content to show everyone that you, because of the fact that you're a failed person, you cannot be an actual person and you have an actual job that you go to every day to earn money for your family, because most of them either don't have families, disown their families, or their families that disown them or whatever, and don't understand the law. It is great content to show actual common sense regular folk that there is a penalty to pay when you decide to FAFO.
And I think you guys have noticed it's gone from, hey, I'm going to go harass police officers, government employees, blah, 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 the courts, to the point where they're all like, yeah, no, that's actually illegal to do what you're doing. And now they're like, well, I'm standing on the sidewalk harassing a private restaurant because they have people sitting outside.
Yeah.
It's like, is that really where we're going? I mean, like, what's his name? I think he's on probation, so he hasn't been like actually auditing.
Are you talking about the
Silence Boy?
Silence
Boy. Yeah, Silence Boy. And he just used to record like exclusively females from behind. And it's just like, this is what you guys are about. Oh, it's my First Amendment. To what? Be a fucking creep?
I mean, you remember that video? I can't remember who it was. You remember that video? Sorry, go ahead.
Well, no, I was going to say, I am reading through some of the stuff that I linked in that file regarding Jack Miller. And there is one, there was a complaint. I guess apparently someone alleged that Jack Miller, while a peace officer, apparently told numerous neighbors that somebody was a, how should I put
one of
this?
Those things that a kitty toucher.
Yeah. And because he claiming that, because he assisted in his arrest on a warrant or something. It's like, it's just, I guess, stuff like that. Yeah, he was suspended without pay and removed from eligibility for law enforcement for a period of 2 eligibility for something for a period of 2 years. What? I don't know. I'm just reading through it, but I guess there were complaints made against him that he did some shady stuff. So it's like, yeah, like he says, "Oh, I was a cop." It's like, yeah, but you weren't a good one.
No,
just the
yeah,
irony.
I'm looking through this and I see in 2007 he had a problem. In 2006 he had a problem. And then there's like whole fucking documents about this shit.
Yeah, that's what I said. His file. I mean, the thing was. Now I said, oh, they're covering for him. It's because this one took me so long. It took months for me to get it. I mean, I practically abandoned the documentary because I didn't think I was going to get all the information. But that also was getting really too stressful. It was too dark. But I also did rip to shreds George, aka Rogue Nation, because it's like, oh, all these cops should be, prosecuted. It's like, really? Does that include the one who literally had to be dragged out of there because he wanted to barge in with his weapon in hand because his wife was one of the teachers that was wounded? It's like
they
that
gave
guy
shit
too
all the time.
Yeah,
they
and
were
he
like,
never,
one of them was on the phone the whole time.
Yeah,
and I'm
exactly.
Like,
He never apologized or retracted that statement. So, George, if you're watching, in my mind, you're always going to be a shit person because you never once conceived doing that. Any other
George is also
journalists did it, but you didn't.
Yeah, me and Blue Bacon, good old Blue Bacon, rest his YouTube soul. We were going at George the other day on Discord because George lied about having cancer for a video.
Yeah,
and it's just like, is that what you're about, George? But no, this Rodney King brought up a good statement here. The fact that KFARR hasn't blocked you yet, but Chris Ryder will immediately block anyone who disagrees with him, says everything you need to know about frauditors. Currently, I have blocked a few people. All of them being people that they're the fake accounts that prawn bomb you. Those are the only people I have blocked. I don't have any auditors blocked. I don't have any sovereign citizens blocked. People can feel free to come in my chat because what have we all been doing this entire time to Johnson Larry? We have been absolutely clowning Johnson Larry for 2 hours and 47 minutes.
Yeah, and not to mention, if I may say, I don't mind frauditors and their sycophants coming to comment on my videos because, let's be honest, the fact that you took the time out of your already, trite, meaningless life to come watch my video and write a comment, that makes me feel good. It makes me say, wow, with so little to do and with all that free time, you found time for me. It's like I'm flattered.
And the thing is, like, I was in Stone Vet's chat the other day when he was talking, and Chris was in there because Stone Vet lets everyone in. And I said, "Hey, why'd you block me in your channel?" He's like, "Oh, what'd you do?" I was like, "I didn't do anything. I didn't even comment, but I know that I can't. No one sees my comments because I have friends in there who I've tagged and they can't see me." Oh, not a word. Because there are things I would love to say to Chris.
Okay, so Larry Johnson said this: "You broke the law. My feelings." No, the law is literally the law.
Yeah, so I already went through a whole thing about how feelings are the foundations of laws.
This is what I wanted to bring up.
Yeah.
It's funny that he outed a kitty diddler, but then later became great friends with Earl David Warden and defends him.
Yeah.
Like,
news now, never getting out of prison.
Yeah. Exactly. It's like I love it how nobody will condemn him. I love that. Like, how hard can it be to just say, you know what? Like, or no, they say, oh, we don't condone what he did, but he was a great frauditor. It's like, no, you don't understand. His frauditing was motivated by the idea of making someone feel powerless and him being dominant upon them. That is literally the entire basis of a kitty diddler. They pick a victim that they know can't fight back.
Well, remember, this is the guy who back in like the 80s, right? Back in the 80s, when he was first convicted of graping someone, right? Pretended to be a cop.
Yeah.
Right? Before the fact that he kitty diddled, members of his own, genetic strain, right?
Oh my God.
Is that
like they said yesterday or 2 days ago about Craig's lady friend? Her family emblem's a banjo.
Well,
That's
and
that's
I want to say this right now. I know looking at the video, I have an opinion on this. Is that she would never do reverse cowgirl because you never turn your
you
back.
don't turn your back on family.
Oh God.
So Sandy's a maniac.
My opinion.
I just want to say
my
Sandy's
opinion, not
nuts.
Tino's opinion. My opinion.
What's it called? How many times have you guys seen me talk about Brooklyn Audit since his last, dust up with the law?
I hate the fact that his name is James. It really irritates me that his name is James.
My thing is if you change up your life and stop, if you want to go be like Terry from Ironton Auditor and do everything the right way and cop watch and document everything, I'm never going to say anything to you. If he is out trying to keep a low profile and focusing on being a better father, I have no reason to ever cover this guy again. Now, if he pops up doing the same dumb shit he was doing before, sure, I'll cover him. But if he's he did what he needed to do to get out, and now he's trying to better his family life, more power to you.
Look at Big West audits. Big West audits, right? You remember Big West?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Right? What did Big West do? Big West got arrested, I think 2 times and decided that auditing was not the way to go. And then same thing with Riot Girl Radio. Did you see her fucking post?
Oh, yeah, I did a short on it, and I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah. She's fucking homeless now.
Yeah. This stuff will ruin your life.
So,
maybe from sovereign citizenship.
I want to bring this up real quick because I think it's hilarious. Around the hour and 45-minute mark, Walter said, Navy Texas here. Now I know we're going to hit 3-hour live stream.
well, let's actually be honest here. Let's be honest. Do we or anybody in the chat really want to hear Chris talk?
No.
Exactly. So it's like
I do because I love making fun of him. So I enjoy letting him speak and fuck himself up. But
I can make fun of him without hearing a word out of his mouth. I mean,
have any of you guys had any contact with Chris outside of YouTube?
Never.
Nope.
Oh, I had a great conversation with him on Facebook, where he just wanted to fight me the entire time, and he just kept asking for my address. And I'm just like, Chris, I'm not a woman, so you're not trying to fight me. So let's take it down a notch. And he was trying to do it in the middle of me live streaming some court case. And he just kept trying to take shots at me on Facebook about me streaming in a suit. And I'm just like,
God, you're old on Facebook, man. I mean, I'm older than you, KFARR, and I don't know.
It's the pages. It's the KFARR YouTube page. Facebook.
That's where old people go to battle because my mother gets locked up all the time from political stuff she puts out. And
so Johnson, Facebook, oh my God.
If I may say, Facebook has only served 2 functions for me. One, just so that I could use Messenger to make it easier to text people. And 2, it's for memes. I literally don't do anything else with it. I used to maybe in in early college years, and that's it. And then now I barely use it anymore. I think I commented on something for the first time in years, and somebody literally said, "Oh my God, you're still around?" It's like, yeah, I didn't go anywhere. I just stopped using Facebook.
Johnson Larry, I give you that. You haven't blocked me. Free speech, right? But hate cameras, free press. So first off, I'm not the fucking government. So the First Amendment whole free speech thing does not apply to my channel. I am not the government, no matter how much Wolverine, transparency, broken system, broken trust want to come to my house to redress their government. I'm not the fucking government. I was not elected. I'm not working for any government agency anymore. I'm not the government. Second, but hate cameras, free press. First off, the First Amendment is not absolute. You would know that if you pulled your head out of your asshole. It's all about time, place, and manner. And it seems like every single one of the people you support do everything they can to record at the wrong time, at the wrong place, and in the wrong manner.
On purpose.
Yeah. But hey, facts and everything.
Well,
yeah. And while Feathington may be oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Jones.
No, and while Feathington may be a scrap CIA psyop experiment, I'm not the government either.
Well, and I like to address this because Davey, Vampire Davey, let's bring this up all the time, right? If someone was practicing their religion in this space, would you do the same thing to them, right? Okay, so I am a and I'll put this out there, I'm a practicing Christian. If I went into a DMV, right, and started, speaking in tongues and yelling at people, right, yes, they have the right to kick me out of there.
If
Because
I
the thing
worship
is-
with snakes, I can't go to a courthouse with a bunch of snakes and be like, "This is my religion." No,
Yeah,
like they're gonna immediately be like, "You got to go, bud."
Well,
Yeah, it's like I can't
KFARR,
exactly.
what was it? We talked about the U.S. versus was it Kokida, right? When they came to it specifically,
Kokinda.
the Kokinda, that was said that you can't. The limited public forums meant that
All right,
they
I'll be right
were-
back. Keep talking.
Okay, they were intended for a certain purpose. Like libraries are intended for a certain purpose. City halls were meant for a certain purpose, and if that purpose was not aligned with you being able to use your First Amendment right in the aspect of filming or speech or whatever, they have, and this is Supreme Court case. I don't understand why none of these frauditors get this, is that they said, well, if you have free speech, but you have to understand that if a place was not dedicated to certain aspects of free speech, like the general public, like a park or a sidewalk or whatever, that you cannot, they had the right to trespass you because you were interrupting the government job that is going on, even though you believe that it's a First Amendment right. What do you think, Tones?
I agree. It's like, I mean, the government, you are granted freedom of speech, but what you're not granted is a freedom to choose. You're not granted 100% freedom to choose when, where, and how you exercise it. Like there are reasonable time, place, and manner restrictions.
Exactly.
It's like the Freedom of Information Act. It's like the government is required to allow you access to records.
There was a law, and this is something that's funny. People don't talk about, right? There was a law where our first president was arrested because he was, I think it was like, what? I'm trying to remember the story. George Washington was hauling like alcohol on a Sunday. And that was a law that existed. And he got arrested for traveling with alcohol on a Sunday, right? And the thing is that there is an aspect where, I'm a big Second Amendment guy. First Amendment guy, Second Amendment guy. First doesn't exist without the second, right? But the thing is that there are places I understand that I cannot take my gun.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, oh boy, another Frauditor troll video. The guy who was flashing his fake handgun during
live stream. Oh god, his pity party over that.
He's another chubby motherfucker. How is it we always get lambasted with these chubby guys?
Well, because they don't have real jobs, so they're broke, and all they could afford is a really cheap gas station food that's like got.
I'm telling you right now, pounds of salt in it. All these frauditors, except for Chile, because I know Chile's like sniffing fucking steroids or whatever, but all these other chubby guys, they need to audit a fucking gym.
Yeah.
Oh, this is what I wanted to say about that frauditor who's flashing the fake gun. How many times have you guys seen any of my firearms?
Never.
And that's how it's gonna stay. I literally have one right here.
So
like on the ceiling, hanging from a nail.
I have a
never seen it on stream.
Loki Fish's Lair, right? Loki Fish's Lair. She does gun breakdowns because she is an expert with guns. She was a shooter and all this kind of stuff. You know what she does? She makes videos breaking down guns. She doesn't do lives. And that's the reason why, was it Demolition Ranch and everybody else can get away with it, is because they make videos according to TOS of fucking YouTube.
Oh, it was a real gun. It was just a pepper ball gun. Why is? Oh God, these guys make me laugh like so hard.
It's like the old saying: it's not what you've got in your hand; it's what you're using it for. That's the point. It's like he's flashing it like he intends to use it against someone, not this is the something pepper ball gun. It holds this many rounds. It's effective. This, be sure never to point it. Always be pointing it down. Never point it in the face of someone unless you intend to use it. That sort of thing. No, it's just like I'm strapped, motherfuckers.
See,
like
Alan,
that shit don't fly.
I'll raise you one. When Wolverine Transparency and Broken System, Broken Trust showed up to my home, and I got a good look at Josh and said, "Nah, gonna need this." I figured it was going to be a live stream or something going on. So I'm like, let's not have this on camera. So I went back and put it in the house. So it's like,
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
not like looking out
that's
for
where
Josh,
that's
but
where
it's
like
just
I'm
like,
different. That's where I'm different. Like if he came on my property, right, threatening
oh,
me,
that's the
and
thing.
I don't care if he has live
He,
stream going or not, right? Of
he
course,
made
I'm in
sure
Texas. I'm in
he made
Texas.
sure not to come on my property. That's the
yeah,
problem. That's
besides,
why he didn't get dropped on his head.
besides, man, Wolverine transparency wasn't a threat. I mean, he was unarmed.
Oh, at least one, right?
Well, and he didn't have the balls enough to even get out of the vehicle.
Yeah.
That made me laugh even harder. But
BSBT wants to come to Texas. Like he told me several times, he was trying to find. I don't remember what last room I was in. He wanted to find my address, and I don't give out my address right now because I'm not by myself. But when I'm by myself, I'll give my address out, and you can come have fun. It'll be the last.
he
fun
might
you ever
now.
have.
He might now because apparently he's on the run. The further away from Michigan he can get, the better. Apparently, like I said the other day, apparently he's in Illinois, messing with that mayor that everybody's like, yeah, she's dirty.
Well, she
Apparently
is
he's trying to
dirty,
grift
yeah.
off that, but he
But
hasn't put any videos on his channel, so it's like, what's the point? You're just running from a warrant at this point.
I should point it out, by the way, that like frauders, if you're watching, that mayor in Illinois, that is the benchmark for
Yes.
for corrupt government officials. Okay,
And how
That
many
is
are
what you're
actually
looking
covering
for.
her?
You're not
How many
going
are
to find
actually covering her in
none.
person?
But it's like you're trying to look for that in literally every city. But it's like no. That is where you start. Okay,
Right.
that is the starting point. I mean, do I think she's the most corrupt mayor in history, or at least in Illinois? No, that was William Hell Thompson. Nobody could ever beat him. But yeah, see if any, props to anyone who knows who he is. But yeah, it's like you guys are looking for government corruption, and yet we don't see a single one of you. Well, actually, no, never mind. Let me scratch that. I was about to say I never see a single one of you in the halls of the U.S. Capitol, but then I forgot there's Daniel Warmus. But the point is, like, you guys don't go where it really matters. Like, go interview actual politicians who there are investigations out on.
Well, it's like I forgot which stream it was on. I was either in stream or in chat or something, and somebody was talking about Rogue Nation was talking about how he got news that this mayor was using his gas card for his home vehicle, or his wife was using it, blah, blah, blah. So they went and tried to investigate, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, cool. Well, did you find any corruption? Well, no. It's like, so what are you even doing?
Yeah.
Like in my head, just, from an outsider looking in, an unbiased third party, as I always say, how hard is it to catch a wife using the city card for gas for her own vehicle?
Yeah.
Not hard whatsoever. But instead of probably focusing on that, they're like, you know what we could do? We could harass the police. That will get us more views.
Well, what was it? Who was the one frauditor who I think it was Rogue Nation, but they said like oh, I got their financial records, and like, oh, they pay, they paid for like all these like to wine and dine these like major business owners. It's like, yeah, no shit, Sherlock. They do that because they want to get those business owners to open up a factory or a store in their town to generate jobs and tax revenue. There's a reason. There's literally a budget for wining and dining, business owners to get them to come to your.
My thing is this: that if the wife was using a government card to fill her gas, wouldn't that be under the FOIA request you could do?
Yeah, you'd think
because
so.
All those like gas charges are considered legal. I mean, they're part of the budget that's put out for the government, right? Because they have to pay for all that stuff.
All right. Let's talk about Larry Johnson's Larry, my bad. His comment, then I'm getting off. 3 hours and 4 minutes is enough for me. The U.S., the next North Korea / China.
How? Yeah, I was about to say, if we were even close, I mean, let's take another nation. Let's take another nation that's actually
Russia?
not as bad as North Korea, China. Well, not even Russia. Let's talk Singapore. Singapore, nice country, very nice place. There are some things that you can get away with here that if you try to pull over there, you're gone. Like you disappear into a hole and you're never seen again.
I could talk about this for a bunch of different countries. Russia, just like off the head of the adversarial political party in Russia, whatever
Yeah.
they call that. He was off in prison. He gone.
Yeah.
What about Iran?
What is it?
Iran?
Oh yeah, they'll
It's like
they'll
all these
take-
countries, shit. And then camera-wise, Japan just jailed
oh god, I forgot his name.
Johnny Somali or whatever.
Yeah,
the hell
Johnny
the guy's
Smalley.
name,
Yeah, that guy was a dick.
for recording on the street and just being a dick to people. Jail. You know what we do to people?
In Iran, you can go to jail because you have a satellite dish that accepts Western TV shows.
Yeah, let's be honest. If we even became a fraction as tyrannical as these countries, there would be no frauditors on YouTube. They would not live long enough to upload their next video.
Oh, God, exactly. If you hear it all the time, oh, tyrants, oh, they're tyrants. If you can say that to their face and then go home unharmed, upload your video.
Called them Sazis or whatever one time.
Yeah.
Yeah, Josh loves the whole tyrant thing.
Yeah, I did not see that one.
But it's crazy to me.
But yeah, it's like these people don't know what tyranny really is. I mean, seriously, like
country. You've never seen what poverty actually looks like.
Yeah, and then notice the other thing. I think the only other country you're going to find frauditors is maybe the UK, and there's very few of them.
I was in where was I? Antigua, right? I was in Antigua, and I was on back in 2006. I was on the USS George Washington, and we pulled over in Antigua, and they told us there's a law in Antigua. If you get caught cussing by the cops, they can put you in jail.
Yeah.
Right.
Like we rank ridiculously high on the freedom scale. We're not at the top. So which I tell frauditors, well, there are countries that rank higher than us on the freedom scale. Why don't you move there?
What country ranks higher on the freedom scale than we do?
I should look that up.
See, here's the thing though. The countries that rank higher than us on the freedom scale are probably like shitholes where the government's just like, do whatever. I don't care.
Okay.
Not like where America's like, yes, we are number one.
Because honestly, I'm going to tell you the truth right now. America is the only country that has a true First Amendment. It's the only country that has a true Second Amendment. It has a true Constitution, wherein the Declaration of Independence, our rights are entitled to us by a creator, not the government. Which I love.
It's only alphabetical order. Yeah.
Like,
sorry, I'm looking at the chart.
The question is, what is the freedom determined by? Because the thing is here is that we have inalienable rights by a creator, not the government, right? The government can't fuck with your freedoms.
Okay, so all right, so what I'm looking at, my source of this, and I admit it, it's not, I'm not saying it's 100%, but it's something called Freedom House, and they have a rating system. My guess would be from a scale of 1 to 100, of like how free something is, and there's even like different ratings, like free, not free, partially free, and I believe the United States ranks the U.S.'s score is, what the heck? It just goes from R to S. Oh no, there we go. Sorry, it is RS. I'm tired. United States, we rank 83 out of 100.
Really?
Yeah, and I don't know why, but Uruguay ranks 96. Like I said, I don't know if this is accurate, but I'm just saying, like, when I look at sites that literally on a scale of 1 to 100 rank how free a country is. I mean, like there's also like political rights and civil liberties are counted. So like for instance, Afghanistan, it's 6, not free. 1 political right, only 5 civil liberties. But Albania is a 68, partly free, 28 political rights, 40 civil liberties. The United States, the United Kingdom is ranked 91. It's higher than us. I mean, the U.S. has 33 political rights and 50 civil liberties.
Seems strange.
That's very skewed. Yeah, that seems like a.
Hey, I don't have to pay a tax to watch my TV. Just saying.
I mean, Sweden ranks 99. Nobody has a perfect 100, by the way. Just letting you know. Like, and
who's number one? But who's the highest?
Well, I don't think they're ranked in numerical or order by highest. It just shows their score. The countries are ranked in alphabetical order. Oh no, I take it back. Finland, 99.
99.
99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. 99. is 100.
I'm gonna move to Sweden just for the meatballs and IKEA.
Well, let me see. Sweden. What
So
are they
we're
at?
talking about Sweden, which is or Finland, all this kind of like Sweden, Finland, Iceland, all this kind of stuff are very homogenous, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's an aspect of homogeny that we don't have in the United States because of the fact that we are the melting pot of the world. However, it doesn't. Oh man, Tones, I would love to discuss this with you outside of this chat because
Yeah.
there is a lot of homogeny aspect that deals with like gun rights, and it deals also with the aspect of like population and things like that versus what we have here in the United States, because we have like 327 million people here who are multi-diverse.
Yeah.
And I can argue against any of those countries that we are more free than they are.
Okay, so let me hit a
Well,
couple
I mean,
things.
my
real
entire
quick.
point of all this is that I mean, because like I said, I'm not knocking on America. Like, of course, America's free. We're more free than a lot of countries. I'm just saying that we're in the top ranks. But like, just saying, like, if people don't like the level of freedom that this country gives them, if they think it's not enough, then by all means, go somewhere else
yeah.
where where you'll be happier. It's not.
Yeah.
It's nobody. That's the beautiful thing about this country. Nobody forces you to stay here.
Correct.
I mean, that's the thing about these frauditors. It's like if you don't like the law the way they are, find a nation with laws you like.
I don't even say that. Like, don't even say that. Here's the thing: if you don't like the law the way it is, vote.
Yeah, I mean, granted, there aren't going to be enough votes to change it the way you want it, considering your position is obscure. But still, go ahead, have at it.
Like, do your part. Like petition, protest. Do what you want to do to protest and all this kind of stuff. Like actual protest and fight to change the laws. Because in this country, you have the right to do that. You have the freedom from the government stomping you out to do that. Please do that.
Yeah, I was gonna bring up redressing your government because we have the right to try to redress our government, but they always claim, oh, we're redressing our government, when in reality they're just yelling at the sky.
Yeah.
And it's like what you're talking about is like, hey, if you don't like this, try your best to actually get it changed. Where these people are like, oh, I don't like that I can't harass whoever I want, but I'm gonna yell at the sky about it. Herbert Studstill moved to Mexico. Herbert is back. Last I checked, because he's literally a couple cities over from me.
He went to Taiwan too. Also,
yeah, he's
like after Mexico,
he's a couple
he went
cities
to
over
Taiwan.
from me,
Yeah.
and I had to let that department know who he was and what he's about, which was glorious.
Yeah. There's one other thing. I mean, I'm sure everyone here remembers Schoolhouse Rock, right?
Of course.
I'm only a bill on Capitol Hill. That thing.
Just a bill.
But yeah, think about it. That thing explained, that dumbed it down to the lowest possible level to explain to everybody, how does an idea become a law? An idea starts with people. People have an idea. They write to their public official. They don't go down there with a camera and yell obscenities at them. They write a letter to them, and enough people, if you could do a petition, if enough people want their congressman to say, yeah, can we make this a law? That person will draft up a resolution and they will bring it to the House and they say, okay, can we vote on this? If enough like-minded politicians are in there, that again, chosen by the people, so they represent the majority of everyone's values and granted, maybe not faithfully all the time, but they're supposed to, then they'll all vote yes to this. And then it goes to the Senate, does it again. And then again, another elected official, if he's like-minded, he'll say yes. That's how change happens. Just because you have a position that's obscure and not enough people support it that it'll never gain traction, well, I'm sorry, that's life. That's how it is. Very rarely does an unpopular decision become law unless you stack the Supreme Court in your favor. But, frauditors and sovereign citizens cherry pick when the Supreme Court matters.
Well, and the thing is, I'm putting it out there right now for all the sophists and the fraud, First Amendment auditors, is that one thing they don't talk about ever when it comes to their rights, and you guys are going to this is, overplayed, is the 10th Amendment.
Yeah. They love to ignore that.
Yeah, they like to jump right over it.
And the Police
but yeah,
Powers Act.
let me so Simon Cumbria, I'm assuming that's how you pronounce it. Did 2, I'm assuming British pounds again. Thank you for that. But yeah, I'm gonna jump off here, boys.
All right, yeah, I can tell you, man, you're tired.
Yeah, 3 hours and 15 minutes. I was expecting like an hour. And here we
Well,
are.
look this way. Would you have had more fun by yourself just listening to
No,
Chris
I
drone
was-
on and on and on?
I was actually me and Mrs. KFARR were talking about trying to round up a co-host or 12 because me coming on here and just doing it by myself for hours at a time is like super draining for the rest of my day. But yeah, let me jump off here. I don't even got much to say. I guess I'll be back tomorrow. I have a bunch of shorts coming out that were part of my live stream from 2 days ago where we were just shitting on Rogue Nation, Craig and his girlfriend. So I have like 5 shorts coming out in the next like 4 or 5 days. So be on the lookout for that. But yeah, I'm out.
All righty. Yeah.
All right, Bubba. Have a
Yeah,
good night.
this was fun. And, for anyone wondering, I am trying to think of what my next video should be. I mean, we're on a road trip, so just trying to figure out where to go. I'm thinking maybe we'll head down. We were in New Jersey. Let's head down south. Maybe go to Florida. See how Florida man's doing.
Oh,
You
wow.
know? So, wait, what?
Thank
Oh,
KFARR,
come on,
thanks for
Jazz,
having
it's
me
not
up
that
as
bad.
always. Right.
Sorry.
All right.
All right.
I'll see y'all when I see y'all. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.